Sometimes with politics, sometimes our people, we get a little heated and whatnot. When you're talking about politics, religion, even sports, sometimes, our people kind of get a little heated, a little emotional and whatnot. So we're going to try to keep it as tempered as possible and, respect everybody's opinion. Everybody has an opinion, and it's not gonna always be what we like or whatever. So it is what it is. But like I say, man, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about because we predicted it last night. That space we was talking about how it was a nail biter between Warnock and Walk, and I knew before I went to sleep. I said this thing ain't gonna be decided here. I didn't think it was gonna be a runoff, but I was just like, well, it was just too close to call. 1 minute Warnock was in the lead, and the next minute. It was back and forth, flipping back and forth, flipping back and forth. So, it was just crazy, man. It was just a crazy, crazy night last night, man. What's up, Ree? I see you said that you had got kicked out to space or something.
Yeah, the space is kicking me out, so I will hold on as long as I can. If not, when I drop down, I'll just come back up.
One thing,
I'm definitely ready to talk about it.
One thing, Reed, check it out. If you on the app and you having problems, like I tell everybody, if you're having problems on the app staying in, then go to one of the browsers, go to Firefox or Safari or whatever, Chrome, and go ahead and get on that way and just come to the space because it seems like it's a lot more reliable at times than the actual app. So I tell everybody that if you're getting kicked out of the space and whatnot, just go ahead and use the browser. I've done it before and I wasn't getting kicked out. I think I was in Black Majority Space. And I kept getting kicked out, and then I went ahead and I said, "Well, let me go ahead and." They say try to because Marcel told me that before. He like go ahead and get on the web browser, and once you get on the web browser, it seems to be a little bit more reliable. So, yeah, Ree and I called DJ Space last night too. Y'all was still going in on the politics, man. Y'all was up late, man. Y'all was like, I listened to like 5 hours of that space a day, and it still had a couple hours left. So I was like, damn, like they was up all night, like y'all went to the early morning, like they say.
Yeah, because we really was trying to hold on to see what was going to happen with, Raphael Warnock and Walker. So, Herschel Walker. So it's just honestly right now, it's up in the air. I was on my way home listening to WHUR here in the DMV. I was just really disgusted. I actually, I'll have to send you the link of the replay. Ron Daniels is just mad disrespectful. Again. To American freedmen, brothers and sisters, in the lens of, always saying that somehow Pookie and Ray Ray have no political aptitude or astuteness to make decisions on voting, and completely ignoring the fact that people are really tired of, the tropes. They're tired of trying to be, being taken advantage of and not really seeing, issues on the ballot that they can actually potentially vote for. And then we also spoke with the young lady, shout out to, Black Lioness that was in the room, who also, came up with some beautiful comments in regards to the youth, and why, she herself, is looking for specific gender-led items on the ballot that actually represent, the Black American experience in healing for our repair. And so, honestly, the space was amazing, and I look forward to, again, having another great space tonight.
Oh, yeah, it was a double header. It was like one of them old baseball games. I led off and DJ closed it out last night. So, we went 4 hours, and y'all know I normally like to do 2.5 hours, but hell, we went about 4.5 hours almost in that space last night. And of course, DJ took it 7 hours. So you're talking about almost half a day, just covering the politics side of things and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a nice space as well tonight. Very informative. We got, like I say, Westmore. They say Westmore becomes the third African-American, but, I thought they were actually counting the fellow back in the actual, right after Reconstruction, but they weren't. So apparently they had somebody else. So we're going to touch up on all that. I'm not even going to hesitate because we got people coming in and whatnot as always. So I like that. I see a lot of familiar faces in the space. Peace to Secret Sister, Professor Tony, Hunter K. I see Shepard's up in the place. So we got a lot of people starting to filter in. Some of our usual starting to come in and whatnot. And I want to go ahead and just touch up on a couple couple they're very quick articles. We got Black Enterprise, and I think we have Afro.com as well, covering the Westmore thing as well too. So I'm just gonna go ahead real quick and just touch up on this and get us started so we can go ahead. First, I'm gonna touch up on Westmore. It said in Maryland, Moore elected as state's first Black governor. Y'all got to forgive me because I'm going to be reading this off of the website. Even though this curator on Newstoter.com, I just went straight to the website. So we're going to have a few pop-ups and stuff like that at times. Democrat Westmore was elected Maryland's first Black governor Tuesday, defeating Republican Dan Cox in a state where Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1. Moore victory flips a governor's office from Republican to Democrat. Of the 36 governor races this year, Maryland and Massachusetts represent the best chances for Democrats to regain the governor's office at a time when the GOP holds a 28-22 edge in governor's seat. Republican Governor Larry Hogan is a term limited. Democratic Attorney General Maura Healey was elected governor of Massachusetts, making history as the nation's first openly lesbian governor. So Massachusetts made history. They had the first openly lesbian governor. Only 2 other Black politicians have ever been elected governor in the United States: Virginia's Douglas Wilder in 1989 and Deval Patrick of Massachusetts in 2006. And Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams lost her bid to become the nation's first Black female governor in her rematch against Republican Governor Brian Kemp. With the slogan, "Leave no one behind," Moore, a combat veteran and former CEO of one of the nation's largest anti-poverty organizations, campaigned on creating equal opportunity for Maryland residents. When I was an Army captain and led soldiers into combat in Afghanistan, we lived by a simple principle: leave no one behind. Real patriotism means bringing people together, Moore told a crowd gathered in downtown Baltimore during his victory speech. It means lifting each other up and improving each other's lives. Moore's running mate, Ronna Miller, also made Maryland history by becoming the first immigrant to win the lieutenant governor's office. Miller, who immigrated from India, also is the first Asian American elected statewide. Moore, 44, defeated a first-term state legislator who was endorsed by former President Donald Trump, who only received 32% of the vote in Maryland in the 2020 presidential election. During the only debate, Moore criticized Cox for attending the Stop the Steal rally on January 6, 2021, before Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. Moore described Cox as an extremist election denier whose rhetoric and policies are not only dangerous and divisive, but will take our state backwards. Kevin Hombleby, who also voted for Moore in Annapolis, Maryland, cited the candidate's resume as a former combatant veteran who served in Afghanistan, as well as a Rhodes Scholar with a business background, as qualifications that jumped out at him. He had just all the right things to lead me in that direction, he said, speaking of Moore. The race was marked by Hogan's refusal to support Cox, who he described as a whack job unfit for the office. Cox organized bus trips with protesters to Washington for the Stop the Steal rally that preceded the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Cox also said Biden's victory should not have been certified and tweeted that former Vice President Mark Pence was a traitor. Cox later deleted the tweet and apologized. Other candidates who ran for governor included David Lazar of the Libertarian Party, Nancy Wallace of the Green Party. Meanwhile, U.S. Representative Anthony Brown also made history in Maryland by becoming the state's first Black attorney general. Brown defeated Republican Michael Porocki, I think that's his name. Okay. And in another historic statewide race, Democrat Brooke Learman defeated Republican Barry Glassman to become the first woman elected Maryland comptroller, which is the state's tax collector. The comptroller holds one of the three positions on the state's powerful board of public works, along with the governor and state treasurer. So there you had quite a number of historic firsts in the actual state of Maryland. He was not the only person, that made history that day. Like they say, they have also in Massachusetts, you have your first openly lesbian governor. So quite a few different things took place in that. Professor, I see you got your hand up. What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, my brothers? Newstoter, DJ. I'm looking for Ray, but I see he hasn't made it up in here yet.
He was up. Ray was up, and he must have fell out.
Oh, he was up there? Okay.
No, I still see him.
Okay, yeah, Ray up there.
He right there. I can hear you, Ray.
Okay. Oh, damn. I can't see him. Okay.
Drop your screen down and come back up. Drop your screen down and come back up. You know.
Okay. Man, this shit is crazy, man. Hey, man, Elon doing something to this shit. But anyway. I see, let's see Secret Sister. I see you down there. I see my boy 100K down there. Everybody in the space, man. There he is. I see B More Codified down there. Dark Cloud, Schism, and of course, I know there'll be more people in here tonight, no doubt about it, because we had a very good space last night.
Oh, no love for Shepard, down there. What's up, Shepard? What line?
No. Hey, I can't even see Shepard, man. Damn, I can't see nobody. Damn, I can't see nobody, man. But anyway, I'm gonna probably end up dropping down, y'all, so I can come back in, because there might be someone with my damn phone, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we had a great space last night, and I just want to say, how about that loss for Stacey Abrams? And it was not black men.
Big 12.
That's right. Black men did not cause the loss, y'all. Now, they might still try to blame us. But as we saw those numbers, the people that she pandered to did not come out and vote for her. The very people that she went out there talking about she would get them free education and all this bullshit ended up not voting for her. So I want everybody to say congratulations to Stacey Abrams for pandering to the Browns, but they did not come through for her. So we got to thank her for pandering to them. That's what caused her to lose. And I'm going to drop down, y'all, because I don't know why I can't see, man. I can't see Red, can't see Shepard, man. I don't know what's going on with this space.
Hey,
check
this out. Check this out, Professor. One, like I told Reed, you may want to go ahead and get off of the app and try to get on the browser. You go ahead and try to get on the browser, Chrome or Firefox or whatever, and come back in. That might make it a little bit easier for you, because sometimes the app be just wilding, and it's easy to actually go in the actual browser. So try Firefox or Safari and come back in, and that probably make it easier for you.
Hey, matter of fact, Twitter updated twice in the last 2 days, so check updates on your app store or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me do that. And then if that don't work, then I might have to do like what Newstoter said. But anyway, y'all, I will be back in. Okay.
Hey, Professor, you got Android real quick?
Yeah, it's an Android.
Okay, yeah, definitely update your apps in the Play Store, because the web system view updated twice too. That also affects the way applications look on your phone. But go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, Professor, you gotta update your phone. Switch the iPhone.
I can't do it, man.
Hell no. And Ray, them Asians over in China, man, they going in on Apple right now. Y'all ain't gonna have no iPhone 14. Hey, by the way, y'all, check your DM.
Real quick, Secret Sister. I'm gonna get to you, and I'm gonna get to Ray. I want to touch up on this article about I'm gonna get to you guys. I want to touch up about Raphael Warnock, and then I'm gonna get to you guys real quick. So just give me 1 second. I got a couple different boxes open and whatnot. So let me go ahead and try to get to Warnock and the rest of them and stuff like that and see what's going on. So give me just just give me I'm gonna hit up on this article, Black Enterprise, and all these articles curated on Newstoter. I'll go ahead and try to find a link. Can y'all hear me?
Oh. Ray, you got your mic open, right?
Okay, because I'm like, I know I heard like.
I can hear you.
Okay, I know. Let me read up on this real quick. This is also from Black Enterprise.
My bad. I was talking to my wife.
That's cool. Says Black Enterprise runoff election in Georgia may decide fate of U.S. Senate again. Okay, y'all forgive me because I'm on the actual site and I've got pop-ups coming and stuff like that. So control of U.S. Senate may once again be decided in Georgia weeks after Election Day as a tight race between Democrat incumbent Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker was headed to a December 6th runoff. With more than 99% of the vote counted, Warnock is narrowly leading against Walker, a former football star endorsed by former President Donald Trump. But Warnock has not yet reached the 50% threshold needed to avoid a runoff, according to data from Edison Research. While county officials are doing the detailed work on counting the votes, we feel it is safe to say that, damn, here I'm talking about with the pop-ups right now. Good Lord. Hold on. Oh, Lord. Let me get back here. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get rid of this pop-up, y'all. I don't know if I can. Hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. While county officials are doing the detailed work on counting the votes, we feel it is safe to say there will be a runoff for U.S. Senate here in Georgia, slated for December 6th. Gabe Sterling, Chief Operating Officer for Georgia Secretary of State, said in a Twitter post Wednesday. A third candidate, Libertarian Chase Oliver, siphoned off 2% of the vote. Warnock, a pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, the Atlanta church civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. led, won his seat in a runoff in January 2021. It was one of two Senate seats up for grabs in the formerly reliable Republican state. In a political upset, both Democrats won their races, handing their party the barest of majorities in the chambers. Those races were the most expensive congressional elections to date at the time, with the special election between Warnock and Republican opponent businesswoman Kelly Loeffler drawing nearly $363 million, according to Open Secrets. So far, Warnock's campaign has spent $135 million, while Walker's campaign has spent $32 million, according to the data from the Federal Election Commission. Millions in outside spending are also expected to flood the state. So they're expecting even more money, y'all, to come into the state, y'all. So that's just, like I said, we're going to be touching up a whole bunch of different things. Last night, you guys saw it was a nail biter. This thing is going to be going to December 6th and whatnot. So they'll have their runoff. Be interesting to see if who's going to win that. This guy that came in there, it would have been interesting to see who would have won last night, because he did take that third-party candidate. Whenever you have a third-party candidate, they always come in and they always take votes and stuff like that as well, too. So I don't know if Herschel Walker would have won or Warnock. I know you do have quite a few Republicans that feel that, Donald Trump had Donald Trump not endorsed him and had the Republicans actually put a better candidate up there, that they would have easily defeated Warnock too. So that, a lot of people have that, a lot of Republicans in Georgia have that sentiment today, that they feel like, hey, this election may not have been that close had they had a better candidate to run besides Herschel Walker. So let me get the Secret Sister, let me get the Ray, and then I'm gonna get to you, Shepard. Go ahead, Secret Sister.
Hey, I just wanted to say hello to everybody. I don't know if y'all, because I noticed we're all looking in on the Georgia, but I was also trying to give you the Pennsylvania, because you do understand we're a swing state. And on a quick one, we have a Dem, Fetterman. He is winning right now. 50.81%, and Oz got 46.77%. And then we have Shapiro, he is 56.11 and 42.10. Now that's with the election day as well as the mail, and then provisional. So that's all of them. So all through Pennsylvania, all counties, they are, and yeah, they are, I guess they're still counting, or I don't know if it's because nobody has been, called the winner, but I guess we can project who it is. But those are both Dems. And for Pennsylvania to have a Dem again, when we are a red state, I don't like it. But I will say one thing. With Fetterman was in jail. And the first thing he wants to do is let all of our people out. Any drug charges, he wants out. And he's legalizing marijuana across the board. You know what I mean? All counties. So that's one good thing that I love about it. So that's my little thing for Pennsylvania.
All right, sister, I appreciate that. Georgia is a big state as well too. Now the crown jewel in the South right now, the deep South. And I know people think about Texas, and I consider Texas more west, But the crown jewel in the South right now at this point in time is the state of Florida. But Georgia traditionally, at one time was that state. It's kind of conceded some power to Florida now, because Florida is depending on what stat you look at, the third or fourth largest state in the union now. So, winning Florida is big. If you can take Florida and Texas, and as well as Georgia and stuff like that, I mean, you really can do some major damage right now. But you're right, Pennsylvania's always been a swing state as well too. So
And would you believe Oprah was here to back Fetterman when Oz is her best friend? That's why I know it's a lot of bull. I've never voted. Because my family don't believe in it, because it's never done us no good. Now, once I have my people up there, I will. But I wish we had our own, like Republican, Democrat, Independent, and then Black. I just wish we had our own. So hopefully we'll be steering towards there.
Alrighty. Now we done covered 2 topics. We got some hands up. I want y'all to know we're gonna also cover Stacey Abrams, and we're gonna also cover this whole thing about black men and the blame and stuff like that. And Keisha Lance Bottoms, before the election started, she kind of went ahead and threw a little bit of salt and kind of questioned the intelligence of black men. So we're gonna cover that as well too. So just to let everybody know, we're gonna cover quite a few things tonight, like we did yesterday. Yesterday was a tremendous space. That was one of the better spaces we had in a while. I know it was election night, so that may have had something to it. Let me say peace to my girl Diane Scott on YouTube as well too. Peace to Rob as well on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead. We got some hands up. Ray, I know your hand was up. You want to go ahead or let some of the speakers in the house go ahead?
I'll just be real quick. Yeah, I was just gonna touch on what the professor said earlier. He kind of stole my talking point about how they're basically blaming black men for everything that's what's going on. But I'm glad that we actually have the stats, for everything that was, that for everyone and how they voted. I'm trying to find them real quick. So again, she got 93% of black women, 84% of black men. She lost because 76% of white men, 72% of white women, 44% of Latino men, 43% of Latino women, and 47% of everyone else. But it's black men's fault she lost. That doesn't make any sense. But obviously, they got to find some way or somehow to put this on us. Obviously, it is what it is. Like I said, they always play dirty politics like that. They would have won. Oh, it would have been black girl magic. That's all we heard of. But because she lost, they got to find a way to put it on black men. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, bro. Thanks. Thank you. We getting this thing rolling. Everybody in the space, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and tweet out the space as well too. For the people on YouTube, please go ahead and like the actual video. Go ahead and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and share it as well too. We're trying to build a YouTube thing up. We're trying to go live and stuff like that. So help us grow. I said we got some hands up. We got Shepherd, 100K, and we got Black Pressure.
Runoff has ever happened. So they're basically just going to have another election on the 6th, you say?
That's basically what it is.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure if they kept the same votes and tried to retally them and try to figure out if it was cheating or some funny business.
Now that much I'm not. I believe they do. I believe they still are going to count that. But Shepard is more politically astute than me. So let me push this to Shepard, and Shepard could better answer this than I can because about the runoff and stuff. Because
it's a whole new race. That's a simple answer.
Okay, Shepard, you had your hand up too, so go ahead and get in there and read whenever you want to. I know you kind of, and we're gonna also talk about, even though we doing the political thing tonight too. Reed's also gonna drop a little bit on us about this boycott Nike and some of these boycott things that's going on as well too. There's petitions and stuff out there as well too. So let's go ahead and Shepard, go ahead and I know you got some interesting views on the midterms last night.
Yeah, on facts. Yo, peace. What up?
What's up now?
So, Atlanta, Athens, Augusta, Columbia, Savannah, and that little tiny dot, Macon. That's it. That's them strongholds, period. The rest of the whole state is red. Always been red.
heart of the South, the peach of the South, one of the most racist places, period. The stats on the lynchings in Georgia is crazy. The stats on everything. Ahmaud Arbery, like that type shit is normal. Like we got together in little towns and, you know, protected each other and had our backs against the wall in Georgia. So like politically, even thinking that Stacey Abrams could win was like a long shot from the beginning. And we deal with facts, not feelings. In 2008, it was an R+5 state. 2012, it was an R+8 state. 2016, I think it was it went down again to R+5. And now we're going to see after this runoff and after all of these numbers come in, where the state sits. It might just be like R+1, R+2. That's for y'all not into politics. And R+ just means like if you in a basketball game, you down 5,000, 50,000, 500,000. You simply feel me? You down already. So if you're a Democrat, you got to make up what you down. Then you got to score more points past that, whatever the 1,000 is. So when you in a R+ state, you already lose because that's why they don't like throwing a lot of money. That's why you hear all this money is getting thrown into this state. And that's why somebody who got 17 baby mamas is against abortion, but is paid for 10 abortions, who his own son came out and said he's a horrible non-parent, who shouldn't even be close in this race, who can't even speak, who can't even articulate, who got CTE to the brain and is just a stooge for white supremacy, is neck and neck with a doctor, master's degree type dude. That shit don't even make sense. Fuck feelings. Just the facts of the matter just show that white supremacy could lift anything up. This nigga could be a whole skunk, and that nigga would still be neck and neck for a runoff. It could be an alien just landed on this planet. In Georgia, that nigga would be the Republican winner of the primary and the Senate. Because this white supremacy is going to put who they want to put in there regardless. This shit really, the whole Stacey Abrams, whatever, it don't even make a difference. Who gives a fuck? I never fucked with Stacey Abrams. I really never really liked her, to be honest with you. You won't find a lot of posts or retweets from me on how I love Stacey Abrams. Nah, facts, not feelings. Stacey Abrams was the first one to stand up for Ahmaud Arbery. That's the type of shit that I told y'all. We talked about this shit before. Like, criminal justice, my shit. Like, who the fuck is the AG gonna be? Who the fuck is the commissioner of the secret police they got in Georgia, the GBI? Who that gonna be? Who gonna be the fucking the ones carrying out justice and protecting murderers of black people? That's what I give a fuck about. That's why I want her in office. Who the fuck is gonna keep hospitals open for our elderly? I'm a black nationalist. Fuck them. Fuck Republican. Who is going to do the job that I need to keep my elderly people alive? You have a heart attack in Atlanta right now, and you black, or any of them suburbs, Augusta, Columbus, you trying to get to a hospital, and with Atlanta traffic, you might as well just fucking kick the bucket. And that's gonna be a lot of us. This shit is just is like is that sister secret to the other sister? This shit is deeper than Nino Brown. So like these are the type of things I think about. Healthcare for our seniors and the quality of life as our seniors and our elders get older in racist ass states like Georgia, and criminal justice reform, police immunity, qualified immunity, shit like that. Like that's what I care about. I wanted somebody black in the office to take care of those are my one issue. Like that specifically, and then other shit come next. My seniors who can't protect themselves, who need people my age to be conscious of them, and then our youth, and then the police murders that we need to stop. So that was my campaign issue. So that's the only reason I was morally, my spirit aligned with Stacey Abrams and her team. So that's my spirit. Like that's like as black people, when one of us run, we all run. We all should see at least what I'm saying, just on criminal justice and our elders, the same exact way. Because that's it ain't no reason to side with white supremacists on just that. Moving over to Pennsylvania, that race is historic. There was no way he was supposed to beat. He can't even hardly beat Oz. That was the youth vote, and that was a superior Dem machine in Pennsylvania. They crushed it. They even took back the House. So you can't. The sister was saying he wants to pass marijuana reform and criminal justice legislation to let nonviolent offenders or whatever out of jail. Positive shit, progressive shit that black people need to even the scales from Biden, right? That's some good shit. But you need the legislature to also do that. He can't just order that. So Michigan, Democrats took everything. Took the governorship, took legislatureship, took the AG, took everything that was important. A trifecta took everything. So the energy for the Dems is there. The energy of the youth supporting the Dems is there. In almost every state, and I just got off a call about 5 other states, and just statistics, not feelings. Dems was doing good in these states. Florida, man, just bomb Florida. It's a wrap. Florida is never, ever, it's the home of white supremacy right now. You can forget it. Florida, Louisiana, we already talked about Louisiana and Alabama trying to change what it means to be black and trying to change Section 2 on the voting amendment. So we already talked about that before on the Voting Rights Amendment. We already talked about that. They're trying to just wipe us the fuck out of parishes, wipe us out for gerrymandering, wipe us out. Matter of fact, a Republican just said, because of the high turnout of black youth and Latino youth, a Republican just said we need to raise the age now of foreign black and Latino youth so that you can't vote till you're 21. So every time our people come out and vote in their best interest, they try to trick us and change something in the law, like they doing in Louisiana and Alabama. Yo, this shit is fucking devious. New York had a red wave. That's a fact. I'm from New York. I follow New York politics heavy. New Yorkers got slaughtered because of crime. And crime is something across the board that everybody care about. Not that trans shit, not abortion, crime. Like that shit is something that when they hype you up to be scared about crime, whether it's as big or not, or if it's as dominated by black people or not, when this machine and the city is run by an ex-cop, when this machine gets cranking up to create a boogeyman, a welfare queen, a black rapist, whatever they've done in history to make crime seem like it was just us, they are very good at that shit. And that's what they did in New York. They made it seem like the shit is us off the chain. In reality, the stats crime is down in New York. Crime is down in most major cities compared to when Biden did the crime bill. Way, way, way down. So New York, Florida doesn't have a machine anymore. Democrats have lost a 200,000 vote lead, and now they're in a 200,000+ vote deficit just in Florida. DeSantis, it was 8 million people voted in Florida when DeSantis took office, and he won by 32,000 votes last cycle. This cycle, he won by 19%. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands. So the shit is going backwards. The entire Democratic machine in Florida is broken. They steal the money meant for candidates' ground games. They don't give a fuck about North Florida. Don't give a fuck about South Florida. They all sit on the same boards. They all caking up. Florida is a broken machine. But we still gotta live there. And the shit that they doing to us, the race police arresting people that they sending motherfuckers in Florida voting cards saying you can vote. All black people too. But then when they voted, DeSantis went and had them arrested. And when black people in Florida need aid for their community from these hurricanes and floods, DeSantis is gonna take the money to the white community. So even though it's a lost cause, we still got bodies there. We can't leave no man behind. So the shit is all fucked up. I don't side with white supremacy for no excuses, and that's just how I feel about it. Peace.
All right, Shepard. You kind of was going in there, kind of a little long winded as well, but I get what you was trying to say and whatnot. But let me go ahead and spread it around the room a little bit. Let me go up next. We got 100K, Black Pressure. We got and we got what is that? World Watcher. So let me go ahead and get to 100K.
Newstoter, what's good, bro?
What,
What's good?
what's going on?
Peace, love, reparations to the room. Man, I kind of wanted to piggyback off of Ray. I know Shepard. I know he deep into the politics. I want to hurry up. I'm taking it back to what Ray was saying, to the original topic of the space. And I was saying, bro, you notice how the Democrats, they don't have no energy for nobody. They didn't have no energy for white women, Spanish women, white men. No, they literally just came after us. And so I'm just trying to see, like, I was ignoring it for a while, but it's really becoming annoying. So as the men, like, are we just going to keep being the doormats, or should we continue to ignore them, or are we going to address it? Like, what we supposed to do, man? Y'all let me know.
Can I reply to that, Newstoter?
1 second, sister. Let me get to try to keep it in order. You can just yeah.
In regards to that, because like I mentioned earlier about Ron Daniels, as I was listening on the way home, to these strategic points that keep happening to deter our focus, and like I said last night, I believe that both parties, as far as the entertainment piece, to capture people's attention and to like a business, right? You have your target market. I believe that they utilize these different tropes. They have people surveying, social media, surveying, and canvassing what are the issues in our community, and they use that against us. I want to do two things. I think I want to hold us accountable, but I also want to make sure that we put the onus back on candidates and the people who are actually supposed to be representing us in office. I know Shepard was saying that, he looks at particular things for people to be in office to represent us in a certain way. I'm not for black faces in high places. That's not emotionalism. That's actually facts. And so I will say that to answer 100K's point, that we really have to push back on the narrative that somehow black men cannot conceptualize and formulate their thoughts and emotions and communicate their needs as a collective, and stop allowing candidates to use the trope of separatism and division that we always say, by separating us under our gender. I think we all have the ability to recognize what our pains and traumas are, and we need to make sure that we speak to those things as a collective and not use it as a divisional gender issue, regardless of and I said this last night, the manosphere, femisphere, Kevin Samuels, Cynthia G, pick-me's and all that particular influence. I think now it's really time to usher in our true core values for the black family, the American freedman family, because if we do not, we will start to see so many different fractures continuously happen, and we'll never get to the points of actually developing a strategic plan, strategy to actually beat the machine. And the machine is white supremacy, but it also is those who gatekeep and uphold, who uphold the system for their benefit, while we receive the detriment of it. And those people can be black faces in high places, and so it can white supremacy. So I think that we have the ability to compartmentalize and talk about all the issues, but one thing we need to make sure that we protect ourselves against entities that are trying to keep us divided from actually recognizing how do we actually repair ourselves. How do we repair ourselves collectively? Stacey Abrams missed the mark, and her team missed the mark. that's on her and her team, because they decided to use the abortion focal point and popping your coochie focal point, going to a Lotto's concert, right, while ignoring Black men as she had it on her agenda. She literally had Black men, Black women separate, but when you looked at her policies on her page, everyone else was actually classified as a community, meaning that she's doing community repair. So in those communities, whatever issues they have in those communities, she was addressing them as a whole, not us. It was separate. Don't get me wrong, as a American freedman woman, a Black woman, I have questions about the way things have gone on, whether it was a Republican administration in control or a Democratic administration in control, because we still have never gotten our full repair, even when the abortion rights were upheld in the Supreme Court. Medical apartheid does not truly cover Black women in making sure that we survive pregnancies and making sure our babies and mothers survive pregnancies at the same time. People want to try to make it an if and or but thing, but it's not. It's all of it. And somehow they want to make sure that we don't get the chance to have these discussions with our Black men in our community, and they make it a separate issue. I'm not here for that. And so I think to change that narrative for 100K is you push back on it. No, Black men were not the downfall of Stacey Abrams. And Black men do have the wherewithal to understand what it is that they need and want as a unit, a part of our community. And you do get to vocalize who you are and make sure that you're represented, and that we should also champion you and hold you up, and vice versa. That's called reciprocity. Stacey Abrams was not exuding that. And I know you was like, Chef said facts over fiction, but I'm sorry, facts over fiction is like, you're watching her and listening to her and reading her policies, and then you're looking at Brian Kemp literally going to meet with young Black men and organizations and actually having people and having discussions. I think that we have to also take some sort of personal ownership in Georgia for not showing up and understanding what referendums are, and why is it that you don't know where to go and to find out how these issues are being put on the ballot that you want to go vote for. Nobody's championing. No one's teaching them that down in Georgia. No one's talking about that in Georgia. So at the end of the day, I think we have work to do, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about how I'm just going to be voting blue no matter who, because, white supremacy been around since the day is long before I was born. However, it's the mechanisms and these systems that we need to learn how to break down. And part of that has to do with how we see each other in our community as a collective, or if we see each other as a big divide. And I'm tired of seeing myself different from my Black men. It's as a woman, yes, but as a collective, we are the same. And that's how we got to roll from here on out, period.
But Sister Reed, I only asked that question because
Wait, real quick, because we got so many hands up. Everybody that spoke is actually it was Black Pressure's actual his chance to go. So wait for a second, 100K. You just spoke, so let me go ahead because we got quite a few hands up in the room. So let me go ahead and get back to you, brother. Just put your hand up, and let me go ahead and because we got a bunch of hands up. Let me get the Black Pressure because he's been waiting patiently. So Black Pressure, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, what's up, Black family? What's up, News? Ray, DJ, hey, News.
What's going on?
Hey, News. I'm gonna say this real quick, man. You know you my dude, man. You like the old saying, you my man, 50 grand. Hey, but don't do this no more, man. Me and Ray talked about this. I never told anybody this, but I used to actually live in Atlanta, like from 03 to 06. I moved when I was in my early 20s, and I used to argue with the cats in Atlanta. I would get into these blood feuds with these dudes. Texas is not the West Coast, News. Stop saying that. All right, the cats in Atlanta used to swear up and down that I'm from the West Coast.
Y'all the Southwest, man. Y'all the Southwest.
Hey, Texas is big because you can make an argument for the furthest reach. Because a lot of people don't know Texas actually has 2 time zones, and the furthest West Texas, like you go to Midland and Odessa, that's actually in a different time zone. Then look, I'm from 20 minutes.
Hey, Texas got in and out, man. That means y'all West Coast.
Well, look, check this out. The city I was born in is actually 25 minutes from the border of Louisiana. Me and Kendrick Perkins are from the same city. We both born in Beaumont. But I'll say this, man.
Shout out the big baby. No.
Yeah. I say this though. I got to give props, even though nobody likes Shepard. Just want to make that clear for the record. Nobody in the room likes Shepard. But I got to give props to the king, man. Shepard is, if you listening, hey, with the politics, you super tight, dog. I got to give you that. You when I listen to your spill, you make me jealous. You super tight with that. I got to give you that. But I'll say this too. Me being from Texas, and y'all might get mad at me. You might want to call me names. Some of y'all.
Hey, my bad. But hey, Brady, your mic on, bro.
Mine? Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, pressure.
Hey, don't
Yeah, like
you
I was
niggas
saying.
when they give me my pop.
Hey, but I'm just setting you up for stuff, though. But like I say, y'all might get mad at me, might want to bite my head off, but I am from Texas, so I'm gonna say something that's not popular. But you know, I don't have any problem being a villain. Texas is a red state. I'm glad that Greg Abbott won again. He is a fire-breathing race. Absolutely, he is. I will open with that. But y'all don't, and I'm not saying y'all don't know. I'm sure most people that live in coastal states know. The problem with the legal immigration here is it's mind-boggling. And the reason I agree with his stand on illegal immigration, he's the only dude I can say that took a proactive stance to get them MFs out of here. So like I say, I'm glad he won strictly from that point of vantage. I'm glad he won again, and like I say, I agree with his stance on illegal immigration. But I will say this, and it's just a question to Shepard, and I'm not being condescending. It's really I want to learn from the brother, but I do have a couple of points of contention. When Stacey Abrams, when she was given the platform to talk about what she was going to do to black people, she ran to that same white supremacist trope when people were saying, well, what about reparations, or what about things specifically for black people? She ran to that white supremacist trope, and she said, well, black people only 13% of the population, so I'm paraphrasing. So it would pretty much be a moot point and a practice and anemia to do anything specifically for black people, because no one would get behind that because of the percentage we are in the United States. And also another question for Sheriff, and once again, not being condescending, I disagree, but I'm really asking about Stacey Abrams. It's no secret, man. She is a lesbian that's with a white woman. You really think that she would prioritize black people as far as the social ills that plague us? You really think she would prioritize doing anything for black people if she would have won the election and been given whatever power she would wield? And I'll land my plane right there.
All right, appreciate you, Black Pressure. Let me go ahead and get to we're gonna get the World Watcher, we're gonna get to Juicy, and we're gonna get back to Shepard. So World Watcher, and let me in the Jumbotron, y'all, I have the YouTube channel and the newsletter. So you guys make sure you subscribe to both the YouTube channel and the newsletter. If you can, go ahead and subscribe to those for us. World Watcher, go ahead.
Hey yo, I'm gonna put this out here real quick. I was in Luke's space earlier, and Nikki Barnes, I see you left. Or maybe you on your computer, were you one of those listeners down there? And here's why I bring this up. I heard them talking about why Florida was lost by the Democratic Party. And I heard them talking about within the Democratic Party, the racism and bigotry. When I heard the conversation they were having, when they tried to create, there was one sister who talked about she created a Black Women's Democratic whatever, and she got resistance from white Democrats. But here's why I bring that point up.
The young sister.
Wait, hold on, Shepard. Let him go ahead.
Yeah, but here's why I bring that up. On one hand, you on that vote blue no matter who shit, but then your whole blue shit get ran down. So you then complain about them. So the question that I wanted to ask, after you mentioned them being racist and all of that kind of shit, I'm talking about within the Democratic Party, I wanted to ask about messaging. And what I meant by that is, since you guys represent the Democratic Party, when the Democratic Party goes at other communities, they approach the Asian, Hispanic, and every other community as if they have some level of intelligence. They'll approach a sociologist or somebody like that. But when they come at Black people, they'll like interview a rapper or some old dumb shit like that. So I kind of wanted to ask that question. So Nikki Barnes, I don't know why the fuck you left. I'm sorry for cussing. Let me fall back. But Nikki did something kind of suspect. I wanted to ask a question, and she didn't allow me to ask the question because the title of the room is what happened in Florida. And she said, if you're not from Florida, you can't ask a question. So I bring that up for this reason. If you're about Black people, it don't matter what the fuck state you're in. Even though each state got a unique thing going on, if you're about Black people, it sounds like you're a Democrat first versus Black first. If you're going to reject my question, challenging the Democratic Party's approach towards Black people. I'm a little all over the place right now, and I'm going to let it go because I don't know what the discussion was about. I really came in because I saw her, so forgive me, and I'm going to just land right there. Salute to everybody. Black first.
Let me just say this real quick. Florida has been a red state for the longest. Florida, if you look at the presidential election of the last since Ronald Reagan, we voted for Ronald Reagan twice. You voted for George Bush, the first George Bush. You had Clinton. You've had in the past 40 years. You've had two Democrats that they voted for president. That's Obama and that's Clinton. We've had. I'm trying to think how many Democratic governors have we had that I can remember since I've been. You had Lawton Childs, and you had back in the day you had Graham. I mean, please, Florida's been just as red as it wants to. So I don't know. Everybody is talking about that you had because they voted for Obama twice. People act like Florida's always been a red state. Miami was even red for a long time because you had so many Cubans that was voting Republican as well too. So Florida's always been a red state. Every so often Florida go Democrat. Just like Shepard was talking about Georgia, the same thing with Florida. You have 6-7 major counties in Florida that's Democrat. And that at 60, and I told y'all that last night for everybody that was in the space. You have 67 counties here in Florida. Well, you may get 8 or 9, even 10 of them that might go Democrat. And the rest of them in South Florida, the Panhandle, all of them, they're going Republican, and they always have gone. You have the big three in South Florida: Dade County, West Palm Beach, and Broward, which are the biggest counties, which hold probably at least a quarter of the population in the state. They go blue most of the time, but occasionally, like I say, Miami will go. They will go the other way too. So just for everybody that just didn't know that, they think that Florida is some kind of Democrat haven. I don't know where everybody's getting that from, but that's dead wrong. Let me go ahead and get the Juicy. Let me get the Juicy real quick. Juicy, go ahead and unmute your mic. Hey, Juicy, you there? I think Juicy may be having some issues. So if Juicy comes back up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let Juicy speak. I'm going to circle her spot. So Juicy, if you get a chance to come back up, please go ahead and request to speak, and we will go ahead and let you speak. Let me get to I guess we're going to be back on We got Shepherd.
Do you see Tamara?
I see her in here, but I didn't see her request to speak. Tamara, do you want to speak? Yeah, I don't see like she doesn't have.
I'm here, family. I'm gonna listen for a little while. I'm getting a good earful, so I want to continue to listen.
Okay, so
I'm gonna stay with y'all for a while.
not a problem, not a problem. Whenever you want to speak, and not just for anybody in the space, y'all, because sometimes a lot of people they request to speak, but they just want to sit and listen. So let's go ahead and when somebody wants to speak, they can just go ahead and raise their hand, and we'll go ahead and we'll get to them. Shepherd, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, Ray was ahead of me. Ray, what's up? You want to go?
You can go ahead.
All right. So let's go back to Georgia.
Wait.
Biden only won Georgia by.
Wait, real quick, Shepherd, because I see Juicy. She got back up here to speak, and like she just.
Problem.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and right now she's at listening. Let's get her to go back to speaker. Let's see if we can get her back to speaker because she just requested Juicy. You can go ahead and speak.
I don't know what's going on with your space, but they messing with it. Because I didn't hear anything. If you were talking to me, if you said my name, it just went completely silent. So I don't know if that means you'll be okay, but I just wanted to come in and ask who the gentleman was that was giving the political data.
Yeah, we losing you. Yeah, you are kind of like breaking up right now. Can you hear me? Yeah, because you may want to come back in and you may want to leave and come back in and see if maybe that might clear it up.
Hey, Juicy, hit me with a DM. Hit me with a DM. I'm gonna teach you how to fix your phone real quick. Your phone going in and out, mama.
Okay.
Well, yeah, stay there now. It sounds better now. I don't know. Go ahead.
She just it sounded like she was better. Let's see if we can get her back to come to speak, but we'll get her to come back. We'll get her to come back. Shepherd, go ahead real quick, and then we'll see if she comes back in, and we can go ahead and get back to her.
You want to wait for her to come back in because I'm gonna cook. So.
Yeah, I don't want you to cook too long because we got some other hands up too. So cook it in about 2-3 minutes, and then you can come back and cook a little bit longer.
Not a problem. All right, so let's just go back to Georgia real quick. Biden won by 2 percentage points. I think it was 49-5, 49-3, or something like that against Trump. Like barely squeaked it out. Like that's why Trump was asking, can the Hothis Raga, whatever the dude's got a funny ass name, the Secretary of Elections, Trump was asking him, can you find me 11,000 more votes? Can you find me X amount of votes so that I could win Georgia? And they wasn't trying to risk their career or jail to make up some shit for him at that time. Because Georgia was like, Biden winning Georgia was almost unheard of. But to Rella's point, and I don't know if Rella understands this, but she's saying that not Abrams personally, but Abrams' organization registered 800,000 Black Americans to vote for the first time. Had never been done. Had taken Georgia's +8 down to a +5. Had taken Georgia from a +5 down to an R+2. Had done some shit that had never been done in history. That's why Abrams got the shot. Not because of nothing personal about her. We like her, we don't like her. She went out there and did the work. And then her organization raised X amount of $1 million to fight to change the laws in Georgia for Black Americans. These laws that she fought to change on Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act were to fight so that Republicans didn't take us back to 1800s. So fuck Stacey Abrams as a person. Don't give a fuck about her as a machine, as somebody who went out there and got some things done for Black Americans. You can't never take nothing away from her there. Who else in modern history, 2 years before presidency, went to an all-red state and got 800,000 more Black American votes, and then that was what Biden won by. So she really, without Stacey Abrams, Biden wouldn't even be president right now. So she got the juice in the Democratic machine for doing that. That's why she was even like the next in line, because she put in the work. And that's just, and it's facts over feelings, not facts over fiction. It's those who fuck how you feel about anybody in politics. Like, I don't really have political feelings. Like, y'all trying to nail me down to a Stacey Abrams position. I never took one. I never said shit about liking Stacey Abrams or what she could do or what she can't do. I said I'm a two-issue voter. Police killing us, criminal justice, and anything dealing with our elders is and youth. Those are my three issues, but the youth and the elders I consider the same. So anybody doing something like that, I fuck with them. I don't care if you're a Republican and you want to build a fishing pier so that old people don't drown wading out into the rip current. I'm with you. I don't give a fuck if you're doing something positive, because we build wheelchair ramps with a Republican sheriff. I work with Republicans a lot. That's why I don't give a fuck what you are. It's what you do, not what you are. The only shit I don't like is if you really a Republican, you really a conservative, you try to hide that behind reparation. You try to hide that, and you working for Republican PAC, and you don't disclose that. Just be true to whatever.
All right. We know what you're talking about. All right. Just all right. Come on.
So can I respond?
Hold on. Time out. I ain't laying. Time out. The last thing I want to say, man. As far as like us voting, right? We gotta unify sooner or later. I put something in the Jumbotron about the 5 Latinos that just got elected, where all of our black candidates who are black American women, Stacey Abrams, Val Demings, and the sister in North Carolina, Cynthia, I forget her name, but Beasley. All of our black sisters, whether you like them or not, they still black American sisters. They haven't done nothing to betray the race. Maybe you may not agree with everything they say, but most of their hearts in the right place as being black. We can all establish they are 100% foundational black Americans. So we got to get on the same, regardless, if laugh or not, that's what their heritage is. We got to get on the same mindset that Latinos are, because Latinos are unifying. Whether they Dominican in Florida, whether they Cuban, whatever they are linking up and Voltroning our ass right now. And they don't care if you're a Cuban or you're a Venezuelan. They don't give a fuck. They all saying, okay, we got to beat, this is a race. They're saying they got to beat us in this race. You heard in California, they in the back room saying the blacks. So they consider us ops. So it doesn't make a difference. At some point, we got to win these races or we won't be in politics. I believe in Detroit or Michigan or somewhere in Chicago, we don't even have a fucking a black American candidate that is even for the first time since Reconstruction in black baseball. This is the first time we had the black American win the World Series, Dusty Baker, right, as a coach. We didn't have not one black American player playing in the World Series.
The Astros
Right, we getting a race. Our point is that we getting erased. And we gotta unify whether we like each other or not.
Hey, let him finish. Let him finish up real quick.
Astros cheaters, though, man. I'm saying, though, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm being serious right now on some serious shit, man. Because this shit, like, I'm a black nationalist. Like, unity is the fucking one thing that we gotta have to survive if we're gonna survive. On some real shit, y'all. Y'all know I be in y'all space all the time, and I don't really be talking about no bullshit. Like, we gotta unify. I land right there. Period.
Hey, Tyler, let me know when you're ready for me to play that video.
What?
Let's go.
Hold on 1 second. Wait. No. Let me. I got to get the Juicy because she just got back in here. Let me get the Juicy because she's been having some issues with connection and stuff. So Juicy, go ahead real quick and say what you got to say, sister. I'm interested to hear what you got to say. Juicy, you there? She may be having some connection issues
I
again.
just want to make sure my audio.
Okay, we can.
Yeah, I left out and it came back up, and I just wanted to make sure my audio and everything was all good.
We can hear you.
Before I just kind of get into my perspective on all of this. Okay, cool. All right, so I guess I just followed the shepherd guide because now I know trying to identify who the person was who was hiding like the political results, the results of the races and everything like that. So I was looking at my phone, so I couldn't really see who was speaking. So that was really the first thing that came up. But being here in Georgia, me personally, I did both. And I voted for the Libertarian because I know that sometimes, you know, if I want to, you know, a Libertarian or so, there's a third candidate to kind of split the vote. I didn't feel comfortable voting for Stacey Abrams.
You there?
Or some type of Planned Parenthood or some type of political agenda to make sure that we continually aborting our babies. And that has nothing to do with me being a conservative. It's everything to do with, you know, the objective of your policy, the focus of your policy. What policies are you focusing on to broadcast in your campaign when you're on your campaign trail or when you're talking to the media? When you go to different events with major artists, with sold out stadiums, and you're talking about choice versus I'm raising the minimum wage versus, hey, let's you know, take care of our hospitals that are closing down in Metro Atlanta versus, you know, hey, let's put a policy together for Black men and Black women to empower them in the state of Georgia because Georgia has such a long, extensive history of racial discrimination and slavery. 44% of Georgia's population was enslaved at the eve of Civil War. So that's why I started looking for reparations. People and candidates that serve our political needs for transitional justice in the form of reparations. And so whether or not she was Black or her bloodline leads to being foundational Black American or whatever the case is, her policies and the way that she moved was not with a Black vote or the Black constituent. She didn't prioritize them. She kind of, you know, was a little dismissive. And maybe what if it was her campaign people telling her that, hey, Black people are only 13% of the population. You don't have to do anything really for them. Let's focus on everybody else. And then you go into a Black platform and you literally say that your mouth, who are literally living paycheck to paycheck, who are working 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to
We kind of losing you, sister. You kind of coming in and out now.
I'm coming in and out.
Yeah, you started breaking up at times.
Okay. I'm not sure. I think it's safe because I got 5G and I got an excellent connection, so I don't know what's going on. But I'll land my plane here. If you're gonna go and register all these people, all these Black people to vote for you, and not have a policy to match with that, you can't be upset if you don't win an election for the second time around. Maybe focusing on policy alongside getting all these voters would have been good. But I honestly believe there was a backdoor deal that was presented to Stacey Abrams, like, hey, have your organization, you know, turn Georgia blue for Joe Biden's administration, get him into the White House, and we'll make sure that we'll get you into the governor's mansion. Which I think that Democrats, because of their racial views on Black people in general, they just reneged on that and let Stacey out on her own. So I kind of do feel bad for her, but, you know, when you don't prioritize Black voters and Black policies, then you kind of get what you get. But it's still strange to say because she got a large percentage of the Black vote for men and women. You can't blame it on us if you lost. So there you go.
And I'm gonna say real quick, I agree with what you said, and I said it last night that Stacey Abrams. Everybody knows that it was almost gonna be almost impossible to win the state of Georgia for the simple fact that when you show it's the white people that didn't vote for her. It's the white men followed by white women. She even got the few Latinos and stuff that's in the state of Georgia, whatever. She got most of them. You know, she didn't get the kind of numbers she got with Black people, but she got most of them. But it was white men and white women that kept her from winning the actual election and whatnot. So one of the main, and I agree with you on this, Juicy, that one of the main things is that they know that Stacey Abrams can go out there, she can raise money, and she can get registered voters. So that's her actual, you know, that's her benefit to the actual Democratic Party right there, is that she's going to go out there, she's going to get registered voters, and she raised millions of dollars. I mean, I think she raised at one time something like $9 or $6 million. I can't remember. So she's a big time fundraiser. So I mean, that in itself is.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't know if I can. But if you go to the Federal Election Commission and search Stacey Abrams, you can see that she raised $20 million during this campaign alone. $20 million.
Okay, so I mean that, and I was even off on the numbers because I mean that lets you know. I mean, when you have somebody that can go out and register almost 1 million voters and raise $20 million, I mean that lets you know that they have value within the party. So that's why I don't think anybody realistically. I mean, I said this months ago that she wasn't going to win, but you know, hey, like I say, she was valuable to him. So you can't knock the hustle. That's how I see it. So before we go ahead, I'm gonna let Tamara get up here. But guys, make sure you get in the jumbotron. Let me give a shout out to DJ also for your contribution on Cash App. You can support Newstoter, the largest Black-owned curation platform today in America, on Cash App. $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. Once again, for those that's in the space, $Newstoter. And if you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you go ahead and follow. I see quite a few people that's in the actual space. If you guys don't know, like I say, the largest Black American-owned news curation platform today in America. So if you're not following Newstoter and you want to stay updated on breaking news in America, please go ahead and follow the Newstoter platform. Tamara, I'll go ahead and let you speak. I see you got your hand up. We're going to go to Merritt, and I see we have a King, Azai, and then we'll get to you, Ree. So Tamara, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Just real quick before you go, Sister Tamara Johnson. Hey, get in the Jumbotron. It's a video I made. It says on the far left side of the Jumbotron, the dot, it says updating apps on Android plus Twitter payment system. You know, having 5G, Juicy Jeans and all that other stuff is good, but the Wi-Fi works better on Twitter, and you got to keep your apps updated. Twitter updated twice since Elon took this thing over, so that means something. But go ahead, Sister Tamara. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, family. And I'm not going to be long. I honestly, when I come into these spaces, I know a lot of times, you know, I appreciate it. Y'all always invite me to speak, and I actually appreciate it. But I love hearing what y'all have to say. I totally love hearing what y'all have to say, because sometimes your perspectives, you're dead on it, and sometimes you're a little bit off. But I appreciate, you know, I appreciate the energy that comes with this movement. I love my people. I love. So, Newstoter, I'm gonna send you a little something. Give me just a few minutes as soon as I finish giving a little bit of an insight on what I believe to be why Stacey didn't pull it off. And I believe that she didn't have. We can see from the numbers, she had her share of white supporters, right? She had her share. But Black people didn't come out for Stacey. Black people didn't show up for her the way she thought we would have. Again, goes back to what Rella was talking about. The messaging was terrible. The messaging was terrible. Towards the end, she was dancing, and I'm like, that ain't even who you are. Be authentically who you are. Like, you reaching for people who probably ain't gonna even come to the polls to vote for you. You may not have even registered these people. So it was she had gotten outside of character, I believe, with how she was moving politically, and we're smarter than that now. Like, there's a new electorate. There's, you know, those of us now that are politically engaged. You're not gonna give us a fish fry like Clyburn over there. Stacey, you're not gonna be dancing and thinking you about to make us come to the poll because you dancing. No, it's reparations, it's tangibles, it's talking Black to Black people, and she missed it. She missed the mark. And here's where I'm gonna transition over to Warnock and Walker. Y'all, we got December 6th is that runoff. We need to wear this race out. And I was talking earlier, and I was telling somebody, like, I'm not gonna let either of them off the hook. Reparations was at the top of my agenda against both of them. And we ain't getting nothing with neither one of them right now. So we don't have a damn thing to lose, and both of them do. So we need to wear them out between now and December the 6th. Like, wear them out with reparations, because one of these brothers need to be speaking on our behalf. And Warnock needs to, you know, stand in that pulpit of Dr. King. I expect him to do it. My expectation is that he don't have, you know, you standing in the pulpit of king himself, right? Like, this should be your platform. You should have been blacker than me, brother. He should have been blacker than me on this campaign trail. But we saw it when he was asked the question and he ran around that thing like it was a hot plate. So no, we're not going to let either of them off the hook between now and December the 6th. I think we need to, hit the gas on this, and I'm going to be posting, and I'm going to make sure I'm more active here on the Twitter Spaces. I love Clubhouse because I think we just kind of get a chance to do a lot more dialogue. But I see over here these spaces are being managed and maintained extremely well. So Newstoter, I want to applaud you. So if y'all not supporting this brother, please do, because we need spaces like this where we can have honest, open dialogue. And a lot of these spaces that I come into, I don't like the toxicity because it's like, am I going to get a word in? Are you going to listen? But I appreciate the way you manage this space. And I'll yield the mic and continue to listen. But I just know, again, these next few weeks between now and December 6th, let's run these brothers. Let's run them. So I'll yield the mic.
Thank you, sister. And you always handle yourself with class and stuff. And we support you. Supported your run, and hopefully you'll run again as well. So we definitely support this, sister. We love you. Take care. Whenever you want to come into the space, and like you say, I know a lot of times people want people to speak sometimes, and sometimes people just want to listen. They just want to sit back and listen or whatever. I be in spaces sometimes I just want to sit and chill and stuff like that. I can respect that. So unless somebody raises their hand, I just pretty much just let them chill. They know when they want to speak. So I appreciate you, sister. Thank you so much.
Just real quick before you let somebody else go, we got a request from somebody in the chat. Hey, Sister Tamara, could you break down the runoff real quick between Warnock and Walker and how that works politically?
Yeah, because nobody got 50% plus one, because you have to get 50% plus one here in Georgia. There was a third candidate in that race. I don't know who it was, some independent. I don't know. Nevertheless, nobody got 50% plus one. So there has to be a runoff. That runoff is December the 6th. So we got between now and that time to really make one of them speak to us. One of them both of them need to, but we got a few weeks to make one of them speak to us. And again, I believe Warnock should do it. I've been having some little conversations about some strategies, and I'd like to share that with y'all. But once we get some real solid strategies and how we can even push them even harder, I'll bring it back to the space. But again, let's use our platforms and really shine light on this race.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, that third party candidate name was Chase Oliver. He was a libertarian, by the way.
Yeah. Let's get real quick to we got a couple new speakers. So I'm gonna get to you, Reed. Let me I believe that's King Za. King Za, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you letting me talk, sir, and I appreciate you having me space. Thank you, Ms. Tamara, for speaking. But I just wanted to say, we as Black conservatives, or me, myself, I'm a Black libertarian, we need to mobilize behind Herschel Walker right now, because, if these Democrats get control of Georgia right now, it's pretty much over for us as Black Americans, descendants of slavery. I mean, for me, I'm very 2A, amendment friendly. My Second Amendment rights important to me. The 114, Oregon just passed. They're limiting the gun ban magazines up here. I live in Seattle right now, so don't think that it's not happening. It is happening. So you just have to think, as a Black American, a lot of us don't have access to a lot of firearms, right? So these kind of laws are only going to affect our community, because white people, they didn't already had all of their guns, so they're already loaded up. So I mean, it's starting up here and it's coming. So I just want to let y'all know that we need to mobilize behind Herschel Walker and get him in. And then everyone keeps saying Herschel Walker is a good old boy. He's going to do the bidding of the people that are getting him elected. So all we have to do is get him in there, and that's all that matters. So that's all I got to say. And I am my plane there.
All right, thank you. And let me give a shout out. Thank you, Tamara, for your contribution on Cash App, sister. I appreciate it. Let me we have a new speaker. Like I said, I'm gonna get to you, what is that? Trans is beautiful. Trans is beautiful. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. This is Mitchell. Why is this person like putting thumbs down, like you don't even know me. No, I'm not talking to you, sir, the host. But I just want to say thank you to you for giving me this opportunity to speak, and thank you to everybody else for being here to listen and everything, and giving your contributions. And you know, I'm just like thinking, you know, just with the whole Stacey Abrams not winning, I think that, you know, I also don't feel like people were just in general, like from just my observation, I feel like people were just not motivated enough to come out and vote. But I think that it's not. I think that it's like false to blame Black men or the Black community in general, because like if you look at the statistics, overwhelmingly as usual, like Black people actually voted for her, and that's just how it is naturally, like all over the country. So I don't like want to subscribe to that whole narrative about blame Black men, blame the Black community, XYZ. But if anybody should be to blame for that, it should be actually be white women, because disproportionately, like we are seeing over the years, like even Trump, you see women with Trump, even watching the different rallies for Herschel Walker, and I saw mostly white women there. So it's like
Yeah, your phone. I don't know if you're having some issues with your phone, or I don't know. But make sure everybody
Scratching the damn microphone.
Yeah, make sure that your phones are muted. But you may have some issue with your phone. So go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Okay. I think you still got on. Oh, never mind.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. And please just interrupt me if like you can't hear me again or something, please. But yeah, so I just want to say, if anything, it should be white women to blame, because actually, like, it just seems like Stacey Abrams, like, just in general, like, had more things to progress the plight of women and even other people of color, other minorities, and Black people, brown people. So I'm just like, if anything, anybody should be blamed, it should be white women that you voting against their own interests. Like, so it's like, yeah. And I also want to say about the whole thing. I actually saw within Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. I was actually watching both of their rallies. Sorry, I was about to say rallies, like allies, but rallies. And it seemed like there were far more like white women at the Herschel Walker rally. So if anybody should be blamed, it should be white women, not the Black community in general. But also, that being said, you know, I'm just hoping that Raphael Warnock can actually retain his seat, because I'm just like thinking it would be so problematic if Herschel Walker would actually win, because just be like, oh my gosh. But it's like, that also being said, somebody mentioned guns, and it's like, you know, I'm just very I'm not sure if you could say I'm like super liberal or something, but I'm like very anti-guns, and it's like, cause like all this violence and these gun shootings and everything, just like even kids are getting scared to even go to the grocery stores or go to school, and seeing parents losing their kids. And I'm just like, how could anybody, like, in the climate we're in, be supportive of guns and everything? There should be no reason for anybody to have a gun. I'm very anti-gun, and it's like, no, it's like, it just makes our society very dangerous. Like, cause if you compare us to other first world countries like France, Japan, and the United Kingdom, they have far less mass shootings and everything, and they have more gun regulations. And it's like, yeah. So this is my stance on that. So thank you.
Okay, well, we appreciate it.
You gotta let me jump in on that.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we have the right to keep and bear arms in this nation. That's the very first thing. You're trying to compare us to what you say, first world countries. Those other countries that you're having also have mass stabbing. So if you're gonna say something, you definitely gotta add that in there too. You take away something from a criminal, they just use something else. So let's not play that game, because I'm very pro 2A. I promise you, if you want to step over the gun stance, we can do it all night. I can promise the best.
Real quick, DJ, I think your phone not muted.
Can I just answer that question very quickly?
Yeah, real quick, because we got to move on.
Okay. Well, yes, I must say violence does not occur in other countries. And you brought up stabbings and other things. Those are actually achieved better than guns because it's achieved with stabbings and whatever, like pepper spray. It's often the actual target that actually hits, not where you're just walking, mind your own business. Kids are getting shot in crossfires, XYZ. With stabbing, it's to go up to the victim and you stab them. You don't misfire the stabbing on some person nearby. So yeah, so that's where it breaks that long.
Okay, we appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next speaker, but thank you once again for your contributing to the nice discussion. Let's go to hey DJ. Hey DJ, is DJ there? Because I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't know if your phone, because I was hearing some background noise. I don't know if your phone was muted or not.
Yeah, my phone on mute.
Okay, because I just keep hearing like this back noise or whatever. But let's go ahead and get the let's get the Black Pressure, let's get the Secret. Also, you got that video. How long is that video that I want you to play?
Dad, there's a couple of them. I'm not sure which one you specifically heard from the space I did last night.
I wanted you to. Yeah.
About 8 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I want you to play the one with Keisha as well too. I want you to play. That's the one I want you to actually play with Keisha up here. Because I was gonna actually read the article, but we could go ahead and play the actual video as well too. So let's go ahead and get the Riri. I know you was waiting for a minute, so go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, Ree? She may, I don't know if she may be in the Matrix herself. We can always come back to her. Ree, you there? Okay, I'll come back to her. Let's get to Black Pressure. Black Pressure, go ahead and then we'll get to you, Secret Sister.
Hey, News, are you recording the wrong man?
Yeah, I'm recording it.
Yeah, man, it's really sounding like I'm agreeing with Shep. So I wish you weren't recording it, but I will say this: that God, I really hate to say this. Shepard was actually right when the last time he spoke, when he was running down his spiel about how we have to separate ourselves from our feelings when it comes to politics. He hit that one out the park. A lot of people disagree with a lot of things that Shepard says. He's kind of black nationalist or whatever, which I don't have any issue with. I'm a black supremacist. I have no issue with that. But he's right. If you really look in the annals of history in America, as far as when it relates to black people in politics, like you've heard me say this before, Abraham Lincoln was a fire-breathing racist, but he was about to sign off on Special Field Order 15, which black people, we know it is 40 acres and a mule, which is more propaganda, but he was about to sign off on that, and he got murdered. You look at Lyndon B. Johnson, fire-breathing racist, but you got the Civil Rights Act out of it. So Shepard is right about that. All that, well, I don't like him because he says this or he thinks like this. Look, if you can use them to do something for black people, hey, vote for him. If Donald Trump would have said, hey, another fire-breathing racist, if he would have said, I'm going to support black people getting reparations for child slavery, I'd have showed up to vote for him in the Goodyear blimp. Like I say, I can separate myself from my feelings when it comes to my people. So I just want to say that, and that last person, whoever it was that was speaking about the different issues with guns, those are straight Fox News talking points. Like Ray said, it wouldn't take me 5 minutes. I'll burn all that shit to the ground, but I'll land my plane right there.
All right, appreciate that, brother. Let me get to Secret Sister Ree. Let me check with Ree real quick because somebody hit Ree up in the DMs and see if she. I don't know if maybe she might be busy doing something, but she knows she can always come back and get on here. So let me hit our Secret Sister. We're gonna hit up 100K, and then I want you to play that quick video from TD Hip Hop as well. So Secret Sister, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
I'm sorry. I was having discussions because they want to give me my official blue check back, and I'm like, well, what's the point now? Because everybody's buying one, so it's no point. Even though I am a public figure, I don't need that. Let me. I don't know who that was speaking about the gun issue. You know, this is. I have a problem with that because it really annoys me when we continuously have everyone coming and have a problem, and they have something to, I'm going to quote, something to say about living here when no one told you to come. So my thing is, and I hear an accent, so that means you can always go back home. Obviously, here, we don't allow, 6, 7-year-olds to pick up an AK and become military. So I wish people would start to appreciate the fact that you are here in a free land where you don't have to wake up to a 7-year-old, but you are not going to continuously demote and denigrate my home and my family. That is wrong. And I think FBA family deserves an apology, or else go ahead and go home. I'll buy your ticket. That's all I have to say, because it's really annoying when you hear these people just pop in and have an opinion. You're not even entitled to an opinion. Be glad you're here. That's all I have to say.
All right, sister, I appreciate that. 100K. Go ahead and unmute your mic, and then we're gonna go ahead and DJ. I want you to go ahead and play that video at the 100K.
Hey, I just want to address the statement that Shepard and Black Pressure said. Like, that theory would be perfect about us banding behind a black candidate, but I'm gonna use Stacey Abrams for example. She was compromised. So it really wouldn't make sense for us to do that, because we did that when we voted for Obama. And I'm going to land right there.
All right. I appreciate that, brother. Ray, go ahead. I see you got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to definitely touch on something that Sister Tamara Johnson said, because she was right. We definitely got to press these politicians because, again, they need our votes, especially in Georgia with Warnock and Herschel going on. I think they really underestimated how much love Herschel has in the state of Georgia. Obviously, I'm a big Georgia fan. We've had spaces on sports and stuff like that. And he obviously bought Georgia their second Heisman Trophy back in 1982 when he won it. So Herschel is very loved. I'm just going to be honest. I wouldn't vote for him. I think he's crazy as cat shit. But, people, I think, really underestimated how loved this dude really is. And the fact that when they were on the debate stage with when it was Warnock and Herschel on a debate stage, and the fact that Warnock couldn't blow this guy out of the water, I think it really helped Herschel, because people was like, okay, maybe he is a little articulate. Maybe, the CTE is as bad as we say it is. Just things of that nature. Like I said, I would never vote for the guy. But then on the flip side, when you got politicians like Stacey Abrams that's running around here with Kerry Washington, and you got Raphael Warnock doing ads where, well, not ads, but he got, I forget what the celebrity was. Oh, it was Jamie Foxx. He was like, hey, Jamie Foxx said vote for me. And then he had Stevie Wonder too. If there's the last person on this earth, I'm going to take some damn advice from, a motherfucker that can't see. But I'm going to land now.
All right, Ray. DJ, you ready to go ahead and put that video on real quick? And this was about Keisha Lance Bottoms leading up to the election, and she's talking about the misinformation and black men and this and that. Basically, like we can't chew gum and walk at the same time or whatever. We can't drink a soda through a straw because we might suck our brain up or something like that. So it was just pretty insulting and whatnot, what she was trying to say and this and that. And once again, it just pretty much set the tone for people trying to blame black men for anytime anything goes wrong in politics, especially with the Democratic Party. So DJ, go ahead and find that video.
They're going to insult us until we basically ashamed of the vote. and go to hell.
And still getting almost 85% of the damn vote from black men and still want to cry about it. I mean, there's no other demographic that's voting outside the black race voting at that high of a clip for any political party, and they still want to, and that's simply because they don't want to go ahead and they don't want to chastise the other people. Like I say, white men and white women and Latinos and Asians, they're not voting like this. You're not getting 80% of Asian men voting Democrat or Republican and stuff like that. But when black people, I mean, it's always something. So DJ, let me know when you're ready.
They want us to get out here and vote. They're saying only like 700,000 people on the register to vote. Well, maybe if you gave us something to vote other than for bills to kill our babies, maybe we would get out here and vote. I'm not voting for nothing that damn stupid.
Hey, News, can I jump in for 10 seconds, please? What they were saying about the trying to blame black men, and I'm in Texas, so I don't really have a dog in this fight, but they were saying the amount of black men that stayed home, if they would have came out, they would have put her over. So I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure. I mean, and like I say, let's not let people need to stop this. Let's not act like you have 330 something odd million people in this country. Let's not like and let's go ahead and just take the kids out of it and stuff. People who's not old enough. Let's not act like everybody who's old enough to vote goes out and vote and stuff like that. There are plenty of people, black, white, who have never voted in this country before. So they need to stop just trying to just cast it all on black people or black men in particular. Like black men they're the whipping boy. Like you gotta when anything goes wrong, you gotta point the finger at them. So that I know white people have told me that they've never voted before and they're not gonna vote. DJ, you got the video?
Yeah, so the name of this video, and everybody go subscribe to the homie TD Hip Hop Tony. So this name of this video is called Keisha Lansbottoms and Brittany Cooper are lying on black men over the lack of support for Stacey Abrams. Let's get it.
Hey, before you start, hey, oh.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say before you started, because I had Providence. We got one of the people I sent an invite to speak in here. Providence, I know you were saying some stuff about Luke in Florida and this and that. So Providence, I'm gonna send you an invite to speak as well too. And if you like to go ahead and expand on your ideas about Luke and the state of Florida and Republicans and stuff like that, I sent you the invite. So whenever you want to come up here and speak, because I know you left a couple comments in the comments section. By all means, like I said, you're more than welcome to come up here and speak in the space. But go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, again, Keisha Lansbottoms and Brittany Cooper are lying on black men over the lack of support for Stacey Abrams. Shout out to TD Hip Hop.
It looks like Republicans may be able to win some of the top contests without runoff. Take a look. In the race for Georgia governor, this brand new Insider Advantage Fox 5 poll shows incumbent Republican Brian Kemp leading Democratic challenger Stacey Abrams with 50% compared to her 45%. Libertarian Shane Hazel polled at 1%, with the other 4% either choosing other or undecided. In the U.S. Senate contest, Republican Herschel Walker is at 49% against incumbent Democrat Reverend Raphael Warnock, who polled at 47%. In that race, again, we saw 1% saying they will vote for the Libertarian in the race, that's Chase Oliver, and the other 3% are either undecided or other.
During my coverage of the 2020 presidential election, a realization dawned upon me that I haven't thought much about up until now. And that realization is that the Democratic Party would rather lose an election than bend the knee to Black America and finally break the policy of benign neglect. And their willingness to lose is something that we are currently witnessing firsthand with the Georgia gubernatorial race between Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams. As opposed to honestly dealing with Black Americans in Georgia, Black men in particular, they would rather lose the race and run with their built-in excuse that Black men didn't show up because they've succumbed to the demon of disinformation, as Brittany Cooper stated last Sunday, and I'll play that clip for you shortly. But as we go through this quick montage of Democrats falsely claiming that Black men are falling victim to misinformation and disinformation, I want you to pay attention to how they never actually explain what the mis or disinformation actually is that Black men are woefully succumbing to. It's that time of year again. Walmart Rewards members get a free hot or iced coffee every Tuesday with the Walmart. You had 94% of the black vote in the last election, and you lost by 55,000 votes. So mathematically, if you have even more of the black vote turnout, you might have won that election. Where is the black vote for you right now? Because some observers have said it's not as enthusiastic as it was last time.
Again, this is a question of who's doing the polling and who's doing the counting. We've seen record turnout. Black men have increased their participation rate by 52% over 2018. And I do not believe it's because of the deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve.
Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve? What?
Stacey Abrams' focus on the misinformation that's being targeted at black men. And it makes me wonder, is she not getting the black support she needs in her race against Brian Kemp?
Listen, Jonathan, I think that Stacey is spot on with that. I listen as my kids watch NBA highlights and whatever else they watch on YouTube. I hear the misinformation being typed in. My 12-year-old, my 14-year-old son, my 20-year-old is getting it. So there is definitely a target toward African-American men, not just to give them misinformation, but to make them so discouraged that they won't show up to vote.
Keisha literally just threw her 12, 14, and 20-year-old son under the bus for the Democratic Party. Let that sink in for a moment. She's lying on her own sons. She just said she listens to them getting misinformation from NBA highlights.
I listen as my kids watch NBA highlights and whatever else they watch on YouTube. I hear the misinformation being typed in.
What? What political misinformation are they getting from NBA highlights? Once again, this woman is lying on her own sons for the Democratic Party. Wow.
There are those in our community beset by the kinds of spirits that seek to destroy us. We need to think robustly, just for instance, about the demon of disinformation that permeates our communities and that renders some of our most vulnerable men, our most visible men, the Kanyes and Kyries, the Drakes. Keep Megan Pete's name out. Okay. The old people won't get it, but the young people do. The Drakes and Tory Laneses of the world, foaming at the mouth, rapidly spouting anti-Semitic, anti-black, anti-feminist, anti-factual statements. We need to talk about the demon of disinformation that has black male voters in Georgia willing to support Raphael Warnock, but not Stacey Abrams.
So now black men are possessed by the demon of disinformation. And apparently we're getting this demonic political disinformation from Drake and Tory Lanez.
The Drakes and Tory Laneses of the world, foaming at the mouth, rapidly spouting anti-Semitic, anti-black, anti-feminist, anti-factual statements.
You see, this is why black men are slowly but surely walking away from the Democratic Party. Because of nonsense like this. Notice how they never get on national television or any stage for that matter and actually address policy and what the tangible benefits would be to voting for Abrams. No. Instead, they insult black men by stating that we're getting misinformation from NBA highlights, Drake and Tory Lanez. Translation. If Stacey Abrams loses in Georgia, it's because black men are unintelligent, anti-Semitic, sexist morons who get their political information from NBA highlights, Drake, and Tory Lanez. What all of this shows you is that the Democrats have no problem losing elections so long as they can pin their losses on black men. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video.
And also, please make sure you text TD Hip Hop to number 33222. That's TD Hip Hop to number 33222. That way you'll get a text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as an insurance plan for myself. So in case YouTube ever gives me the axe, I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but certainly not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon for only $3 a month. That will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube.
Hey, DJ.
Of YouTube. And for those of you who have
go ahead, bro.
No, I was just say, yeah, you could turn it off, but I mean, we got the gist of what he's saying. Now you got Keisha up here sitting up here. She's sitting up here talking about. She's naming all these entertainers. She's talking about Tory. What's his name? Supposedly with Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, what in the hell? I mean, what the hell does that got to do? And this woman used to be a mayor here. She's sitting up here talking about. Hold on, she's sitting up here talking about anti-Semitism. Hold on, she talking about anti-Semitism, anti-feminism, all this other stuff. Like, this is why people have an issue right now with some of this stuff we hear from a lot of these women out here in the actual Democratic Party here. Like this is an insult. This is an attack on black men right here. This, and they send a black woman out to go ahead and attack them. That is an insult. No, that's bullshit.
Wasn't it black men in World War II, the original Black Panthers that went over to Germany to help liberate? And don't even get me started. Yeah, that's the part of history they don't talk about. The 761st Tank Battalion, the original Black Panthers. We went over there trying to help damn Jews, and now we anti-Semitic. And they crazy as hell.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's an insult. I'm gonna kick it to Shepherd, Black Pressure. Anybody else that want to speak, go ahead and put your hand up. Well, hold on. Let me get the Black Native because she just got up in here. So, Black Native, you're a sister. You're a female. You're a woman. I'm very interested to hear what you got to say. You just heard that clip, so go ahead and break it down for us, sister.
What's up, Newstoter? Peace and blessings to everybody in the room. What's up, DJ? And Mr. Ray.
What's up now?
Oh, that audio was disturbing, to say the least. It's disgusting. She deserves what she gets. And actually, it wasn't black men that didn't vote for her. It was white women, white men, and Hispanics, the people that she was catering to initially. They shut her down. But it's just an insult to say that black men are possessed and they're listening to Tory Lanez and who else did she say? Drake for political advice? I mean, they don't deserve any type of position. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Nick Cannon. She talking about Nick Cannon too, or something?
Right, both of them are Canadian. Like, she don't even know hip hop. Like, she's just all off base, all out of tune. And that's why neither one of them are holding positions in office right now because of that rhetoric. I don't understand why the hell they think it's okay to continue to accuse or say black men are the problem, and that's why they're not winning seats in offices because of what the fuck they saying out their mouths. That shit is insulting. It's disgusting. And I'm glad she didn't win. And I hope Warnock doesn't win. I hope Georgia is the whole state turns red. This is a lesson to the Democrats. You've been shitting on Black Americans taking our votes, for advantage, and you're not producing. Even though they did, black people went out and supported her anyway, and black men. Is she not looking at the polls? I don't understand how she says these things. And Keisha Lance Bottoms has the audacity to throw her 4 sons under the bus. Like, do you even care about your own sons? It's disgusting. I don't even know what to say. Like, wow. That's all I have to say about it. I'm going to land on that.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate it. Shepherd, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Go ahead, Black Pressure. I need a minute.
That's what's up, fam. Hey, news of mine is short. So I'm going to say this. Keisha Lance Bottoms. Now, since you want to talk about black men, I'm going to shout out black men. I'm going to shout out us. I don't know if y'all follow Jason Black. So I'm sure most of us know about him. Listen to his podcast and all that. This is a guy who probably 99% of his audience doesn't know what he looks like. He doesn't show his face. This is a guy who he's in a state that borders mine. He lives in North Louisiana. I think he's from Shreveport. That's at the very top of Louisiana right there. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how many of you guys are followers of him. Excuse me, I'm fumbling my words. This dude from behind a microphone eviscerated Keisha Bottoms. He marched into Georgia and put those billboards up, and literally, when I say literally, less than a handful of months later, she gave it up, man. This dude, he decapitated her. So when she talks about, I think she's still sour about what Jason Black did to her. Like I said, a black man, he got sick of it because I've been following him for years. And it was a build up. And when he put those billboards up, she was done. And I land my plane right there.
Facts on that, pressure. Facts on that. Shout out to only Jason.
Go ahead, Bray. Now, I was just gonna speak on something I heard in the video that what was it, TD Hip Hop? Was that's what you said?
Yeah, that was the video from TD Hip Hop right there.
Yeah, you brought up something about benign neglect, and I haven't heard that term in a long time, man. And I don't think a lot of people understand what that was about. That was like way back in the day, man. There was a guy named Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and basically he came up with these policies that basically said, black folks are demanding all this stuff, but we ain't gonna give a shit. So anytime you talk to them, we need to talk to them in code. So that's why you hear that even politicians today, they're still kind of talking codes. They talk about, we're gonna do something for minorities, people of color, underserved communities, things of that nature. That comes from Daniel Patrick Moynihan and that benign neglect policy. I will hand there.
Hey, with that,
that's fact.
Hey, go follow this to the reparationist perspective. That's all she talk about is benign neglect. Shout out to Sis.
Shepard, you ready?
That's a fact. All right. Oh yeah, I'm good. Damn, he threw me a whole different direction too when he said benign neglect and the way he built on that. So let's build on that. So Black Americans since 1954, it was a bill passed nationwide. It was a Slum Clearance Act, and it was really the Negro Clearance Act, because everywhere they saw benign neglect, they did slum clearance, which was to get rid of the black business owners, the black renters from the black landlords. The whole black landlord class, since we were segregated, we had another class of people that were a step up in our society that owned buildings, and we actually rented apartments from them. But the American government and the realtors decided that they wanted in on that action. So they created HUD, and they created all the redevelopment and housing authorities that 45% of our black population are in a supervisory custodial relationship with. So it's been 70 years since 1950s since that they took control of half of the black population and built all of these housing projects. If you do the math on the housing projects and you look them up, it was actually an experiment because they had a problem with the Negro. Like they didn't know what to do with us before the end of segregation. So they figured militarily it was smarter to put us in one way in, one way out situations where militarily, if we had an uprising, they could police us better and they could marginalize us better. Now, this don't have nothing to do with redlining itself. That's the marginalization of our economic dollars and what we can afford and where we can go economically. This is militarily, they built the projects. That's why the projects look like bunkers. That's why it's one way in, one way out, and most of the projects, and that's why they're so easily defensible and they could trap you inside. But that was just my build. If you do the math, Black Americans have had all of our baby boomers, all of Black Americans breeders, meaning the fertile women who are in the housing projects, they're having the most kids. The women that are getting the leg up, the women that are kind of being bred in sociology, like being bred mentally to not be the best that they can be, are in these housing projects. And we really need to get them out, free them from this custodial relationship with HUD. That's where all the crime is. That's where all the redevelopment and housing authorities control half of Black Americans. And that's where most of the violence and the breeding of this mentality comes from. And it's totally out of our control right now. So that was just my build on that benign neglect, where that came from. So the stats is crazy, because the thing y'all just was talking about was about misinformation. And though I disagree with probably a lot of what Keisha Lance Bottom said, stats don't lie about misinformation. We are a targeted group by everybody for misinformation. Like, we are the group that people want to keep down the worst. So we are also the group right now that they target with misinformation the worst. So a Senate Judiciary Intelligence Committee report in 2019 said that there was definitely, bots and people targeting Black Americans with all kind of misinformation. And the Senate, the American government, was probably one of the bots too. You know what I'm saying? Trying to target us. But also the FBI and a lot of the agencies have found a lot of malicious attempts to steer Black Americans to do this or to do that. And that's just something that we have to live with as Black Americans, because we have always been targeted for misinformation throughout history. If you look at the white newspapers, when they took over for the Black newspapers and got the distribution routes into Black communities, and when Black writers, the misleadership class, end up writing for white newspapers and saying what the white newspapers wanted them to say. If you look at the first Negro journalist, I think his name was Max Roach. He was out of VA. He said that the reason why he quit was so much disinformation coming at the Black community. Malcolm X said it. Everybody said it. So let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater, because the messenger is bad. Those are two bad messages, but the message is true. There is a lot of misinformation coming into the Black community. Those are just facts. Researchers found that Twitter accounts operated by Russian trolls was posing as Black activists. They shut down all those accounts. That was corroborated by UNSC Chapel Hill's study that was independent of Twitter and independent of the government. And then they found another site called Blacktivist. This shit was Russian, and they had 11 million engagements with Black Americans alone. It's just one thing after another. Then they had more Twitter accounts. Twitter closed 1,600 accounts and suspended more than that, because they were targeting Black Americans specifically. So they were Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever, COVID, whatever. They always twist us the fuck around. Even when, back in the days when they poisoned us at Tuskegee, the Black newspapers was infiltrated by the U.S. Army through Russell Moulton, and they spun the Black newspapers to make Tuskegee's not be what Tuskegee really was poisoning us. In Mississippi, they spun it. So we're dealing with a misinformation campaign from white supremacists. We're dealing with it from the Black misleadership class, and we're dealing with it from outside forces. And I'll land right there.
Hey, DL, go ahead. You got it.
Well, what's going on, family? Brother, shut up, my brother Mike. I see a couple people in here. News, what's going on with you, family? I just walked in, so I'm just gonna kind of briefly just talk about what I have knowledge of. Look, bro, they been sending niggas off for years. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is kind of fucked up that being shut up predicted this shit was gonna happen. Niggas thought we was tripping. At the end of the day, I couldn't see no situation where them Democrats was gonna go on national TV and tell the whole world that the bad guys was gonna whoop their ass on Tuesday. Man, it was a switcheroo. Now I've been looking at the stuff today, but obviously it's a runoff. But that Stacey Abrams shit, look, man, all them niggas down there in Georgia, they said run, Stacey run, and all that, and she couldn't whoop that crap. And the motherfuckers around here crying Like, nigga, you know where the fuck we at? Like, people be thinking that this shit is sweet like that. You know, like we at a real point in time where, like the brother say, yes, disinformation and yes, all type of other stuff, but we gotta know who the fuck our enemy is, man. We can't keep deviating who got something, something against us. We gotta really identify. It's like this. You gotta get your man. Like right now, I'm just seeing a bunch of confusion. Niggas more confused now than ever. You know what I'm saying? Between all the shit with Kyrie, they pumping the field. They saying, hey, Brittany Griner, we don't know where the fuck she at. She in some Russian camp picking cotton. Niggas don't even care. Niggas going about their life. So, they trying to drum up energy, I think, in the people, bro. Ultimately, this reparations thing that I always say everybody talk about, that's what got to be the focus, man. It's a debt that's old. Come on, let's work on that. All that other shit, let these crackers fight. Fuck who winning. You know what I'm saying? Trump is done. They gonna get that nigga the fuck up out of there. They ain't fucking with him no more. You know what I'm saying? It's sorry to see you go. And ultimately, man, don't follow no nigga, man. I'm speaking from the heart, man. You got too many motherfuckers up here with their false ideologies. Focus on you and your family, get yourself together so you can win. Because this shit, it's the blind leading the blind, man. And you already know what they say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. You got motherfuckers who can't even see the whole picture trying to lead niggas. And we gotta put this shit together, but this shit is weird. Don't let these niggas on this Twitter space act like they know what the fuck they talking about. Send you the fuck off, bro. Because motherfuckers do not have the knowledge. If they had the knowledge, they wouldn't be on here, trying to sell motherfucking shit and argue with niggas all day. You niggas don't have the knowledge. Get with the people that are genuine and real, bro. Other than that, don't get caught up in all this election shit. Because at the end of the day, these just two groups of white folks fighting about conquering your black ass. That's just what it is. So I'll rest my case with that, man. But peace to the room. I love all y'all. Hope everybody thrived and had a good day and accomplished something today, man. That's all it's what it's about. So with that, I'll end.
Peace. Appreciate that, brother. And just a quick question. I want to kind of get to the Westmore thing too, because like I said, I know I read that article. I touched up on them, but if anybody in here wants to speak about Westmore that lives in Baltimore, anything like that, how do they feel like Westmore is going to impact the black people up there in Baltimore? Please feel free to also step up and get the mic and just share with your thoughts about them. I don't know much about Westmore.
That's the governor of
Maryland. Yeah. He just.
I know he's Alpha, so he definitely in that. I won't say bootleg because I think the black youth do a lot of good work too, but he's definitely in that elitist circle. He on the clock. He gonna have a lot of support from black men. You know what I'm saying? He got to make that happen, man. Real talk. Like he on the clock. Baltimore, I'm not out there, man. That city's afflicted. You know what I'm saying? That city's afflicted, man. And, shit. I think that brother may do some good, but shit. Let's be real. These white motherfuckers not letting you get in power and pushing that shit. The moment you try to activate your Willie Lynch shit, they gonna get you the fuck up out of it. Ain't no motherfucking, the only nigga I ever seen going crazy, behind the scenes, and that, was Adam Clayton Powell Jr., man. He passed all that legislation for people up there. I don't know. Somebody educate me. Name some people that's in power in this political space that's really going hard for our people that ain't bought and paid for.
Well, you had Maynard Jackson in Atlanta. You had what's his name, Marion Barry in Detroit.
Marion Barry, yeah. We got to get a flowers to the one. Man, I'm glad you said.
You got Chuck Lumumba in
I would say Harold Washington in Chicago.
Yeah.
James in North New Jersey. They got Sharp.
The other brother named Colby Young in Detroit.
But they kind of like Coleman, man. They tried to say at the end that Coleman had all kind of different, like Coleman was almost affiliated with, I don't know. They trying to say Coleman had like affiliations with gangsters and shit like that. They
said Coleman was selling dope.
Yeah. If you remember the cat that was on Beverly Hills Cop, that was supposed to be like Eddie Murphy, boss of black.
And I ain't from Detroit, but we do the research. Big
Yeah.
Hey, news. That dude Bill was a monster.
What was that, Black Pressure?
Them niggas ran that bitch with an iron fist though. The dude DJ Beats, they talking about the guy from Beverly Hills Cop. Hey,
Yeah.
that dude was a goon. That dude was a goon with a badge. Cuz was a monster for real.
Yeah, that's what and he was linked up with. They trying to say he was linked up with Coleman, like so. Like,
No, they was locked in. Look, see, that's what's so interesting about that era. Let's talk about like the late 70s to like the early 90s. You had shit in Chicago. You had Harold Washington. He mysteriously died. Then you got, like you said, you had Colby Young over there. They say he was fucking with the drug dealers and shit. You had Tom Bradley, who we love, in L.A. They say he got, what's the nigga name off Freeway Ricky? He say he got all the drug dealers out there. Say, look, man, put this shit in the building out there, man, before these motherfuckers come get y'all. So we have examples. Marion Barry. We got examples. Look how he went out with the crack and stuff. So when our people been in leadership, they don't walk away unscathed, man. I don't know. Anybody can give me any history on Maynard Jackson? Did he walk away unscathed?
I can't remember what Maynard. I think Maynard try to run for U.S. Senator or something like that, but I think they kind of went up against him, but I'm not sure about it.
David Dinkins out there in New York. They talk about him like a motherfucking dog in New York.
Hey, don't forget in my city in Houston, Barbara Jordan. Don't forget about her.
Oh, see, I never knew about her. So she was
don't forget about Kanye's in Detroit. Kanye's in Detroit was a gangster. That's the author of the reparations bill in the beginning. He was, when he was young, he was fighting for black people until he got old. He couldn't push the bill no more. But he was a beast in Detroit.
See, I love this conversation. You know why? Because I think if any young people's in here, they hearing about these unsung, like this. You know what this is teaching us? Our people went into the motherfucking legislative halls and tried. They went in that motherfucking tried to help. And
now that's fact.
Niggas fucked it off. I ain't gonna lie, like even in the Detroit shit, them drug dealers was fucking with Colby Young, G. You know what I'm saying? But Colby Young had a lot of love because he was in the Tuskegee area. He was an alpha. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
want to talk about gangsters? David Dinkins called New York Jaime Town. He said called it Jaime, and Jaime is a slur for Jews. So you want to talk about gangsters?
I thought Jesse Jackson did it. You said David Dinkins said that?
Dinkins did it too. I think Jesse Jackson and David Dinkins called the slur.
Get elected in New York though at that time. Anybody from New York could put us on game.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. He got elected to one term. And then when we had the war with the Jews off of Eastern Parkway, that was a wrap for him. They came together and Voltron and put mad money up to get rid of him because he sided with the black people. That's what I'm saying. You sleep on Dinkins, but Dinkins was gangsters.
Rip Dinkins, David Dinkins, man, New York. Real talk.
Real talk. Y'all going in.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how did Dinkins, like, because I know, like, what was the play? How did the nigga get in power like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did he get strong in New York like that? Because that's a hard
Adam Clayton Powell Sr. and the whole Dem machine that was the gangster Dem machine that was really fighting for black rights. That's how he got in power, through that machine.
Hey, real quick, because I got somebody that wants to come up and they want to address this about Wes Moore. Real quick. Real quick, y'all stay right there because I got somebody that wants to come up here and address it about Wes Moore. We got Blood Pack. She wants to say something about Wes Moore. So Blood Pack, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey everybody, hey Newstoter, white people, thank you for having me. This is Brooke Sinclair. I just wanted to come up because I just wanted to make sure that in our discussion, because we have people of different age ranges and people all over the world, right, all over the United States, to get just one few things go back in the conversation. So first and foremost, Black Americans, we are delineating. And so, hi, DJ Beats. I've never seen you before. And so I think in some of our conversations, although we have listed a lot of melanated people, not all of those people are Black American. And when we talk about having Black Americans in politics, remember right after slavery, we had a number of Black Americans who were nominated and were supposed to be Republicans in the state. Or no, actually, we had a couple of people. Yes, thank you.
They got some niggas the fuck up out of there.
Right.
They killed them all.
Real quick, let her go ahead and finish, y'all. Go ahead, Brooke.
Okay, thank you. So, it's just a wordplay thing, just because words do have a lot of meaning. And so, specifically bringing it more topical to Wes Moore. Wes Moore is indeed an immigrant, and he ran on the premise of bringing in more immigrants. And his whole platform is all about serving immigrants. He don't give a fuck about you or your family. Don't wait anytime. Don't wait and see what he's going to do. You need to approach him right here, right now, and let him know, don't bring not one more motherfucking immigrant in this goddamn country until we get our goddamn reparations. Respectfully. So, but that's all. Thank you. Watch out for him. Why am I playing?
Hold on, sister, you just said something big, because I don't know about him, right? They hold things the niggas the alpha and all that, so that's like some FBA type, whatever y'all want to call it. That's just my, I don't even know what the fuck I am. But no, all jokes aside, though, that's what he ran on. So you thinking, oh, this is a black motherfucker, what you saying? This nigga putting the African American mask on to sneak in, the tricks niggas, and now he the governor of motherfucking Maryland. And now that motherfucker.
Yeah, but no.
But
that's just stronger than anything. Alpha in that Boulay situation is stronger than any immigrant background. That Boulay shit.
I'm gonna get to you, Shepard, because we got original. Let me get the original, and let me get the and then we'll get back to you, Shepard. Let's move it around a little bit. I'm gonna get to you though. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, peace, black power, and reparations. Well, y'all missed a good space last night with DJ. What's up, DJ?
Peace, kid.
Anyway, you all mentioned Maynard Jackson. And see, as I think I mentioned it last night in DJ space or whenever. See, Maynard Jackson, he's like basically the only black mayor that we've had that really did something for black people. Maynard Jackson, when they rebuilt the heart.
Don't forget Marion Barry too. Now he got to put him up there.
No, he's talking about Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. My bad. Go ahead. Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
You're talking about Georgia. And so what happened is, see, when they rebuilt the airport, see, what they was doing, they still wanted to operate the same way. When these people build these big projects, there would be no black contractors, or if there were, they would be like about maybe 1 or 2% black contractors. But Maynard said, I will let tumbleweeds roll up 85 before I build this airport without any black contractors. And so you had, I think it was Herman Russell and a number of other black people who became millionaires under Maynard Jackson. That had never happened before. And so the white people, they got pissed off because of that. Because they said, wait a minute, he's going off, in their mind, he's going off of their code, okay, because he got on our code and helped black people. There was black contractors as well as black people working to build, the airport. And so, but all these subsequent mayors that came after Maynard Jackson, they was nothing but basically coon. Because, see, Maynard wanted to run for U.S. Senate, and the white people, they punished him by these white Democrats they punished him by not supporting him to run for U.S. Senate. So he ran for mayor again later on because Andy, I think it was Andy Young that came in, and Andy served for 2 terms, and then Maynard came in again, and then he went on and did whatever he did. But it was because he defied them because they wanted to continue to, as Brother Ray said, give us benign neglect and not give us any damn thing. But Maynard broke that, and as far as Keachman's bottom, as I said before, this woman, right before she was leaving office, now she put out a press release, and it talked about she wanted to put these 10,000 lights in the city of Atlanta. But when I read the press release, and it had a little sentence in there stating that especially in Southwest Atlanta, because there had been a historic underinvestment of lighting in Southwest Atlanta, which is where most of the black folks live. And when I read that, I'm like, wait a minute, this is serious. I'm like, wait a minute, Atlanta has had a black mayor with black folks on the city council since 1974. And you're going to tell me that there has been an underinvestment of lighting or of anything where black folks live? That lets me know, because see, when these people run for mayor in Atlanta, they all run to Buckhead, begging money from the white folks. And that white, I think he was, what was his name? Sam Marcel. I think he was of the Jewish belief. And he still was basically running Atlanta, not being in any kind of, they call him the mayor of Buckhead. And they run up there to the white folks saying, well, we're gonna make sure y'all taken care of now, we're gonna do this and do that or whatever. And so and that's what has gone on here in Atlanta. Because like I tell people, do not get it twisted. Atlanta is not this black mecca that people make it out to be. It is still a majority city, but like Dr. Claude Anderson said, they're the majority, but they operate as if they are a minority. So they've been brainwashed or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, it's not what it's made out to be. And as far as Big Swole, see, I was listening to a guy today, and he said, see, they don't want you to get all cold when you talk about these people. This guy was interviewed on Fox News, and he played the interview. And so he said that because, see, Big Swole, she was not going out, she ran a Hollywood campaign. And so she had already been labeled by Kemp as being this, this Hollywood person. And so she brought in, the Jennifer Lewis and the, what's the sister name from, anyway, all the ones she brought in, thinking that we were so stupid that she could throw an entertainer in front of us and that we would just follow that entertainer and put her in office. That's not how it worked, because see, when you read her platform, she offered us nothing, but she offered illegal aliens everything that they needed to try to become legal. And so that's why she lost. And so he said the way he made that comment about her, he said people was calling him like 3 o'clock in the morning saying, why didn't you attack Tate? Why didn't you attack Big Swole? He said, I did not attack her. He said, I told the truth, because she did not want to, she took us for granted and thought she could just throw a few celebrities out there and we just jump in line and go along with her. Well, that's not, we are more sophisticated than that these days, okay? You can't throw a celebrity out there because we know better. We know that they're nothing but a paid stooge anyway. So I just want to share that, and I'll land my plane on that.
All right, appreciate that, brother. Let me go ahead and get to Ree. I see she back up in the space. Ree, what's going on?
Hey everybody. I had to take care of, business. So and I think Original, it's always again good to hear your voice. Black men elders, all of the elders, women too as well. Always bringing that fire and, letting us know what was up and how we can hone in on things that some of us seem to miss. Hopefully I'm not backtracking, but I'm just jumping back in the conversation in regards to what I was saying earlier. And I think
Go ahead, though.
okay, so I think Shepard asked, he said he don't know if I understand, all about Stacey Abrams' political, as well as her, pretty much I call it her jacket, right? And
No, I didn't ask you that.
well, I use the term her jacket. Like you pretty much, I don't know, insinuated to me as if I knew who she was. I know who Stacey Abrams is. If Stacey Abrams decided to actually do what it is she said she was going to do, I think in her campaign run, outside of moving into the space of actually getting on stage with Lotto and changing her message up and actually circling back around to her politics on her agenda, not going back to what she did 2 years ago, but what we are talking about today and what she did in her campaign run. That was my point earlier to 100K, is that people really think that Black men and Black women, especially in the South, are, robots and like they don't know anything. And I think that with Stacey Abrams, had she not switched up her message and got on stage with celebrities and actually came out and talked about what Black men wanted and had a panel discussion with Black men, since she had already separated us by gender, she probably could have won. However, I think she got what she really deserved, because that's not really her. That's not her get down. She wants to be president. She's vying to be president. I think trying to make up for what happened to her and the embarrassment that happened to her during the Biden administration, not picking her and picking an immigrant over her. And so I think she does have a vendetta to get to the White House, to become the first Black female president. At the end of the day, I'm also going to come back and say, I mentioned the referendums because everybody was talking about surface stuff. And I don't separate emotions from factual information. I actually can do both, because things that happen to you, like someone telling Black men that, we got to, get Ray Ray and Pookie's to the ballot, as if Ray Ray and Pookie aren't a participating citizen in the United States. People do triggering things, and then when you get a response, an emotional response, then they want to say, get out your feelings. Well, stop doing shit that triggers my response. Because I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can see what you're doing to me, and I want to do something to change it, but I don't see anything that I would want to vote for. So now the active thing to do, like I mentioned earlier, is how do things get on the ballot for people in Georgia or across this country? And I mentioned that has to also be a focal point. People getting involved in their electoral civic duties. Like, you need to really find out, how are these things getting done? Why is it that your voice in positions and wherever you are aren't being put on a ballot so you can vote for it? So when it comes time for anybody like a Stacey Abrams to jump on that campaign trail entertainment situation and try to campaign for your vote, they literally have to speak to things you already know. She wasn't doing that. She was campaigning off of immigration, and she was campaigning off of gender divide. Like, again, to me, aside from her professional profile as a candidate 2 years ago, she literally just told us, I can make money, I can get $20 million campaign, I can do all that, but I can't seem to capture the entire Black community. And that, to me, is a problem. That's a problem. And likes aside, that's a problem, whether you hate a candidate or not. Brian Kemp is not no better, but at the end of the day, he at least has something Black people are interested in the state of Georgia, and that's closed borders. Unless there's something else besides reparations that we're all talking about on Spaces, on the ground, wasn't nobody trying to hear all that other stuff, and nobody cared about her being on stage with Lotto. So I think that's what really hurt her, in my opinion.
Okay, real quick, I want to touch up on what you just said, Ree, about her. her ambitions of being the first black female president. First off, she couldn't even win the state of Georgia, and 2 times she couldn't even win the state of Georgia. You know, the Democrats, they're going to be looking for somebody that they feel can get them over the hump, or certainly try to add a different demographic or whatever. But we also have to be reasonable here. And I'm not trying to be funny or whatever, but there's certain ways you have to look to be the president of the United States. Okay. You've never seen in our lifetime, we've never seen a bald president, have we? No. We've never seen we never seen a president with glasses. You're not gonna have a heavy set woman sitting up here being the president of the United States. You might get a heavy set man, but they're not gonna put a heavy set woman, let alone a heavy set black woman up there. Donald Trump, people might make fun of Donald Trump, but Donald Trump was 70-some years old. Donald Trump was world famous and this and that. So if Donald Trump had a little bit of weight on him, he's a man too. So they'll allow that. You would have to look, if you're a woman, you're gonna have to look somewhat like Kamala Harris, or if you talk about being a black woman, or supposedly being able to pass a black or whatever. Stacey Abrams, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but I mean, there's certain things, like I said, you've never seen a bald president. You're not gonna see a chunky woman up there, unless it's somebody like Hillary Clinton that's up in her age or whatever. But you're not gonna see a rotund woman up there that's black and stuff like that. That just physically speaking, people can sit up here and say, well, you're being vain. No, I'm being real. They're not going to sit up there and they're not going to put a woman that looks like Stacey Abrams. They may put a woman that looks like Michelle Obama up there, because they say, well, you know, we can get the dark-skinned black women too. We're going to get the black women. We're going to get this and that. And this, yeah, they'll take Michelle Obama's body over Stacey Abrams any day. But the fact of the matter is, Democrats know that, first off, there's not going to be another black person sitting up there in the White House anytime soon. Okay, Obama was like the last one. That you may get another one 30, 40, 50 years from now, but there's not going to be one anytime soon. So let alone a black woman. A white woman with Hillary Clinton, even white women was coming out. White women I knew and stuff. So, well, you know, I just don't feel right voting for a white woman and this and that. And I just don't feel right voting for a woman. So, it's just no way that Stacey Abrams was ever going to ever be a viable candidate for them to go ahead and even to run her as a vice president, because they know she's one step away from being the president of the United States. Like, no way in the world. They'll take Kamala Harris because physically or whatever, she can get the black vote and this and that, and the sister girl routine and this and that. And they'll say, well, she's more easy on the eyes and stuff like that. But just no way in hell. Like, Condoleezza Rice would have had a better chance of actually being George Bush's vice presidential candidate than Stacey Abrams. She just physically, and I'm not trying to be funny here, I'm just saying that we can sit here and say what we want to. America is still a vain place, and it's not going to happen. Like I say, let's see when we have the first bald president sitting up there in the United States of America. I'm talking about cat with a head like damn Kojak or Michael Jordan. Let's see if we see something like that. We still a vain.
You got me thinking, what now? Eisenhower ball?
Back when, in the what? The 50s?
Back in my Navy days, I was stationed on the USS White.
Yeah.
Him and I think Gerald Ford was born too.
And Gerald Ford became the president because Gerald Ford didn't win an election. He became the president because of who? What, Richard Nixon got impeached? So so that's how he became the president.
If y'all don't let Newstoter have his bald head president theory,
it ain't finna happen. And you're not finna get a chunky black woman sitting up there talking about being the damn president of the United States. You're not gonna get a chunky white woman sitting up there being the president of the United States. Let's be honest.
we're gonna do a conspiracy theory when it's milk and cookie time.
Hey, when was the last time you had a fat ass president? Who, Taft? Come on, man. I'm just being real. I'm just trying to be real here, y'all. So I mean,
she not big as Taft. Taft was a huge guy.
but I'm saying, but Taft was the last fat president you had, and I'm saying they're not gonna. When was the last fat man you saw that was in the White House?
Trump is not skinny. I don't know. No. I'm not blind, but Trump definitely was not skinny.
But
Taft was like 5'10", like 350, 370. He was a big motherfucker.
And Trump also was a celebrity too. Trump, like I said, Donald Trump is world famous.
Outside of the vainness of the country, if you had someone, if she literally really wanted it, she would have actually listened to the populace who actually went out and voted for her. And black men and black women did show up for her, and she dropped the ball.
But Democrats, but I'm saying the Democrats feel like if you had a black woman sitting up here talking about having her be the next president of the United States, that's a losing ticket for them. It's a losing ticket. It's a because you got it. You got it. It's not about. It ain't all about black people though. You got to get white voters too.
Listen, the voters who voted for the independent party for Oliver, I think if she had switched her message up and really was solid in regards to reparative initiatives for American freedmen, trust me, she would have got the independent vote.
Sister, I love you, but America's not with Barack Obama leaving office. America's not about to have another black president anytime soon, and they sure as hell not going to have a black woman. They don't want a black man up there, and they don't want a black woman up there. And I would eat crow, and I'm being dead serious. No way. What's that, Black?
I said if she would have had to explain her white girlfriend too, she would have never won the press. That's not gonna happen. Forget that.
Ain't she a lesbian too? Come on, man.
A woman, period.
Let nigga land a bald lesbian fat plane, please.
All right, who we got next? Well, go. You speak on it. Speak on it. And don't be up here for 15 minutes either, nigga.
God damn it. Nah, this is on some real shit. This is one of my favorite sort of opposition spaces. Now, I've been fucking with y'all for 6 months. I ain't just pop up in here yesterday. So we all know each other, man. It's a pleasure doing business with you brothers.
I still don't like you either.
Man, I don't give a flying fuck. Look, you secretly, you fuck with me. Don't even try it. Look, y'all all do. Y'all all follow me. Y'all all fuck with me. Fuck that. Listen, on some real shit though. If you're trying to get a bag, my sources are telling me that if you're in the neighborhood and you have some skills, they are looking for people in Georgia where an estimated maybe 10 million, 15 million is about to be poured back in the state for this campaign shit for both parties. So if you're a Republican, conservative, whatever, and they're trying to get at the black community. And the problem I have with the whole shit is that I'm mercenary. I really don't give a fuck about either party. I'm in Dem spaces, and I tell them I'm a black nationalist. I'm not a Dem to their faces. So this is who I am. The bag is there if you want it. The bag is there if you want it. We talk a lot about the money going into races, but I'm an advocate. If you're a good communicator, if you hold spaces, a piece of that pie is supposed to come to you, Newstoter. Supposed to come to anybody who want to reach out and put a bid in with the Dem or Republican Party to get a piece of that bag. It's a lot of money flowing. It's been times where it's contracts out there for 150 G's that you could bid, and maybe they got 250 G's in the budget. You could low bid. You could set up a call center for $5,000. You can get all your equipment, out of the bid money. You can get all your equipment, get your robocall software. You can get your canvases on the ground. You can get your rental vans. You can get a hookup with a printer, a black printer, and get all your printer stuff for whatever the pack need. You could out of the bid money actually flip that and never stop flipping. I've done it. Trust me when I tell you that it's not as hard as it is. If you're not scared to be in black and brown communities, you can make a bag. It's no reason that we in the spaces and we ain't talking about getting money. So I'll leave you with that. If you want understand a little more how to get money in this time, and you got the resources to be able to go ahead and carry through, hit me up in the DM. If you don't, cool. But I'm just letting you know there's a bag out there. We could talk about Stacey Abrams all day, Kemp, and all this other shit. But if you're not getting to the bag, that's where I leave you in this space.
Right, brother. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Let me give a shout out to my man Wayne too for his contribution on Cash App as well too. And like I say, we gonna pass it around or whatever. But I mean, and Reed, like I said, I love you, but that's just my personal opinion. It's not a fact, but it's just my personal opinion. When Obama was in the office, all of that, this talk about living in the post-racial era and stuff like that, we saw that just got blew apart with like a nuclear holocaust. Like that was never, like them white folks, they couldn't take it. They just lost their mind with this dude up in there. And it's not to say that we didn't have racism. We've always had racism here, but that was like the boiling point for a lot of white folks in this country right here when he became. So the fact that, and like I said, you put a black woman up there. Yeah, okay. Original, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, I just want to comment on this because I shared this on DJ Space this morning, rather. Anyway, well, Big Swole, okay, see, she attended Spelman College. My neighbor, she attended Spelman as well. And see, when she was at Spelman, she started this some type of organization called the Gay Alliance or something like that. And so she was trying to move all this, this gay stuff on this campus of Spelman. And it got so hot to whereby she had to be escorted to and from her class with security because the sisters wasn't having that. And so, and like my neighbor told me, said, well, the Spelman graduates, they would wear like, white dresses when they would go to their commencement. And because of her, she got the administration to change because some of them like, well, I don't feel comfortable in a dress. I don't want some pants. Yeah, and so now, she struck down that tradition that had been there for over 100 years. And so, and like her campaign, just as her campaign, she has always, caked for the gay community. She's never done anything for black folks, not ever. And so, and like, they had this religious freedom bill. I think I mentioned this before too, because I mentioned it this morning as well. They had this religious freedom bill the Republican was trying to get passed here in Georgia. So they went to her because both her parents were preachers. And as soon as she got out of the meeting with them, she ran straight to the gay white folks, telling them about it and that they need to start, kicking up fuss so they can get this bill blocked or whatever, And but see, that's how across the country, that's how these black candidates and black elected officials will conduct themselves. They're not going to put their neck on the line for us, but they will put their neck on the line for any other demographic and try to get them some tangibles or whatever. But they're not going to do that same thing with us. So that's why I can proudly say I did not vote for her. I did not vote for her or Raphael. So my position is, if they're not going to sit up here and defend us, why am I going to sit up here and put you in a position and you only going to offer us benign neglect? That's just not going to work well. And I've been giving both of them hell online to let them know, no, you're not getting my vote. That's not going to happen. And so, but yeah, I just wanted to share that because see, she was groomed at an early age. See, they get these people and they groom them at a young age to go out there and fight the battle for white folks against us. So like I said, and like this another host said here, when she ran in 2018, they were calling it to his show saying, oh, all hands on deck. And he said, she has never caped for black folks, and she never will. But she knows now that she I doubt that she'll run for anything else again, because once you get defeated twice, that's basically it.
Brother, she talk about running for y'all president in 2024.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That's a waste of time. I'm telling you.
I told you, y'all not listening. Y'all listen.
She can run.
Listen, I'm gonna make a bet. And y'all gonna have to pay me.
Oh, she can run. I'm not saying she can't run. I mean, she can run. She just gonna get her bell rung. So I mean, yeah, she can run, but she don't have any chance of winning.
And real quick, DJ, you were talking about I guess her alleged white girlfriend is up on the jumbotron all the way to the far left second slide. And also, I don't know if you've seen this about Al Sharpton saying that Kyrie Irving didn't receive enough of a lashing. This Negro said lashing to a black man about his using air quotes, anti-Semitism.
Man, if Al Sharpton don't sit his ass down saying some stupid stuff like that, Al Sharpton is the same one that was sitting down with Joe Biden, sitting up here while Joe Biden was talking about he done delivered for black people and stuff, his administration in the 2 years or whatever. So, man, go ahead and stop the nonsense. Al Sharpton is still trying to stay relevant. He's still he's on MSNBC. That's not enough. You know, back in the day, black folks did have respect for Al Sharpton. He was considered like a poor man's Jesse Jackson. You know, he was never considered as serious as Jesse Jackson, but you know, black people would try to get behind him with some of the stuff that he was doing. But now, man, just stop it. Please.
No, man, it was a big deal. Who was that dude that put hands on his ass?
That was Roy Ennis. That was Roy Ennis. That was Roy Ennis was a Jamaican cat. Roy Ennis was I think Roy Ennis was a conservative, if I'm not wrong, Shepard, Republican, and yeah, they kind of got into it on the Geraldo show, and Roy Ennis was known for putting hands on people like.
Well, I can't be too hard on Al Sharpton for one reason, he showed up to my father's funeral, so that's the only credit I can give to him.
So I can understand if you got a sentimental attachment to him. Like I say, back in the day, people did he was always considered like a loud mouth. He was a cheap version, a poor man's version of Jesse Jackson. Like that's what he was considered. Like Jesse was high on the I know people look at Jesse different now. Jesse was high up there, and Al was like, I wouldn't say poor. I'd say a middle class version of Jesse or whatever. Loud. He had the perm and whatnot. He was like 300 pounds and whatnot. So, I mean, it was.
Newstoter, Al Sharpton got up there with Michael Jackson and attacked the music industry the same way Kanye is attacking the music industry. I posted a video. It was a big deal. They said they was going after everybody in the music industry to get black artists. The same shit going on with Kyrie. Al Sharpton was right there with Michael Jackson trying to do the same thing for black musicians. So he got a lot of fuck shit. But he got about 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Shepard, you would agree that he was never at the level of Jesse Jackson at his height, though. You would agree with that?
Oh, nah. He was too clownish and buffoonish.
That's all I'm saying.
He was like the Don King of the politics.
Yeah, and like I say, he had the suits and stuff. Like he was loud and whatnot. Like so, Jesse was considered classy and this and that or whatever. He was from the Martin Luther King school and whatnot. While Al, you know what I'm saying?
Fight nobody. Al Sharpton would get in the street and fight niggas. That's a big difference. Al Sharpton would take a punch. That's what some shit niggas don't know about Al Sharpton.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's like the Don King of politics to me. Like that's how I see Al Sharpton. I can't. Who can take him serious?
Howard Tapper in politics. Badass.
I thought he was a pimp.
Yeah, Al Sharpton.
He was an ex-pimp, actually.
Nah, he was a preacher. I mean, he grew up as a preacher and whatnot. Like he was a boy preacher and stuff like that, from my understanding or whatever. So he just like I say, he had it like Shepard. He had a street version. He had a street edge to him and stuff like that. So I mean, Al. Like I said, he did some good things back in the day and stuff like that, but it just it's very much hit or miss with him, definitely, especially at this point.
This street fat nigga, loud nigga that get in white people's face, and at the time he was getting in Jewish people's face. He was Tawana Brawley had happened. He was the Crown Heights Jewish thing had happened. It was like back to back Howard Beach. White boys fucked up some black people on Howard Beach. He was a nigga that would go get physical and loud, and he motivated street niggas to come follow him and fight. So that's what he was good for. But he was also an FBI informant.
Yeah. Can't forget that one, now can we?
Can I plug the petition now?
Oh yeah, go ahead and she's gonna let y'all know real quick about this petition against Nike and everything else. So Rila, go ahead and you should have reminded me, sister. Go ahead and hit them off.
Okay, so hopefully DJ can post it, or not. If not, I can post it. But there is a petition. You can check out my Twitter page. There is a change.org petition to actually go after the Anti-Defamation League as well as the NBA and Nike for violating Kyrie Irving's civil and religious rights. The reason why Nike, I actually need to put Nike on there, is because Nike actually participated in an economic, pretty much it's almost like an economic lynching that's happening to Kyrie Irving. But if you notice, the patterns were the same for Nick Cannon, and also it was the same for, I think recently they tried to go after a Hall of Famer who is standing up for Kyrie Irving, and I think his name is Ed Reed. And so we really have to vocalize on all fronts with everything. And Shepard did, kind of, challenge me, if you will, to make sure that in all fronts that you do have to stay on your P's and Q's in all things. And there's so much that happens, even with the Tommy Tuberville and what's happening with black coaches that are happening in the NFL, that are not getting a fair share, college football, that are being passed over, but the Tommy Tuberville gets to actually go through and get picked up like another coach who doesn't have to have experience and come on board and be mediocre white man, where they will pass the black coaches.
Why did you choose ADL?
The Anti-Defamation League. I chose the Anti-Defamation League because when the NBA first came out with the reason why they were going to sit him down, the Anti-Defamation League backed up the NBA to state that what Kyrie Irving did was a almost kind of considerably anti-Semitism. And they never did any investigation. They immediately came out and attacked him for a documentary that's been on Amazon for over some time now. And it's actually been in circulation in media for 7 years. And so at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving, acting on his own, fruition as an American citizen, has every right to practice his religion. He has every right to practice, and do everything that we do under the First Amendment when it comes to freedom of speech, petition, and press. So at the end of the day, they violated the Freedom and Religion Act of 1993, and so that is in the petition. You can read more in the petition, but we definitely need to share it and sign it and pass it around, because if it's
I'll sign it and share it and all that.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to pay the money, the $500,000.
Well, I mean, that's all in there. But all I'm saying is, remember, they decided they weren't going to take it because it would have been seen as extortion. Cool. Yeah, it would have been seen as extortion. But remember, they were going to take it if no one had said anything about it. If people hadn't said, wait, they want $500,000 from them, and that was going on Twitter, then they came out and was like, no, we can't accept the money. You know what I'm saying? Now, had this probably been a behind the door deal, and he would have, folded and not came out and said, no, I'm gonna stick to my guns, and potentially, I don't know if it's official that he's going to retire or not. At the end of the day, I think, we're watching in modern day times, they're literally lynching someone economically by impacting. I mean, and people can get mad at Kanye West with the whole White Lives Matter situation, but it's the same thing. If he can't vocalize whatever he believes or whatever, utilizing the press and social media, and then talk about religion without, the undertones of saying, oh, well, now you're anti-Semitic, now you're demonizing, but yet Donald Sterling and the Papa John's guy and all these other people can come out and literally call people niggers and be recorded and just have vile, like just visceral, speaking points towards us. And the Anti-Defamation League does not ask for them to meet with religious leaders. There's no, hey, you got to have sensitivity training and all this other stuff. Then something is wrong. Like we are.
The NAACP that does that.
Well, the NAACP is actually against Kyrie Irving too. They came out and was like, hey, we are against, anti-Semitic speech, and, we condemn, the posting of this video. And at the end of the day, I believe his rights were violated, and they need to be investigated by the DOJ. That's how I feel, and the EEOC. The NBA should be.
Hey, Sister Rella.
Yes.
I just wanted to touch on something real quick since you talked about the Anti-Defamation League. Do y'all know how that organization really came about and founded? Like, I was doing some research into it with the Leo Frank lynching.
Yes.
Basically, like he worked in a pencil factory or something, and he accused 2 black people of killing some girl that worked in a factory. And,
yes.
You know, went to trial, and long story short, some white people end up lynching him, and they blaming black people.
Yeah, I posted the link about it, and it was the link about the relationship between Ashkenazi Jews and Sephardic Jewish community and the Black American freedmen at the time in their relationship surrounding that case. But the thing is that article actually did not talk about the stronghold of slavery that the Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jewish people actually had committed over the community that caused the risks in the community. So I'll try to post that link again too. And I think it would really, really is sad that we are just uncovering a lot of this stuff, and that the ADLU never really, I think, had interest to actually fight on our behalf on the forefront, right? In cases of racism and, prejudice situations. But as you can see, they will blindly full throttle go after someone who is, I think, a Black American.
But you got to remember that the NAACP was founded by Joseph Elias Springard, and he was a Jewish man. NAACP, first two leaders were Jewish, and their money came from Jewish, and the money still comes from Jewish and corporations. So they never, when it comes to Jews, ever going to deviate against Jews in no major type of way. Their little origin comes from Jews. And Springard was the agent of Army intelligence on top of that. And we on point here. Our map is solid. All right, go ahead.
Right, and so I was just going to say that, but at the end of the day, I think what we have to get smart at doing is we actually have to figure out how these organizations are constructed. They're not organizations that are part of the United States, but they are constructed on the business side as 501c3s, for-profit and nonprofits. And so at the end of the day, we have to be smart enough to attack them in their certification for the organization. So that's also a part of it too. I believe the ADLU should lose their 501c3 status for violating the civil rights of Kyrie Irving and his religious rights. So that's just
a petition to the players union that's fighting for Kyrie right now. They don't like the terms. The NBA players union, the Black players union, tag them in it.
But I'm glad you brought up that Spingard Award. I definitely want to bring that up too, and I'm going to pass the mic really quick, man. But y'all need to look into that. Like you said, that was founded by Jewish people. They took that list of prominent Black figures, and they took that and turned it into the FBI. And to this day, they still give the Spingard Award.
Real quick, let me pass it around the room. I see we got a few hands up. We got blood.
Before you pass it, hey, get in the Jumbotron. Far left side, the petition created is in there, and look to the right of that. Don't forget our reparations rally for Juneteenth 2023. Get in the Jumbotron, 2,000 on the left side.
All right, let me
come on like an AI bot.
Let me go ahead and pass it.
This is the local news.
Let me go ahead and pass it.
AI, nigga, because we don't know about you anymore.
Real quick, y'all. Let me go ahead and pass it to Blood Pack. Then we're gonna go to Sister Sean. Then we're gonna go to Professor. Then we're gonna go to Original. So let me go ahead and pass it real quick to Blood Pack. Brooke, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you. Hello. Vela, man, so eloquent as always. I am loving this the thing. Excuse me, I've been smoking, but you know what it is.
You rang, ma'am. You rang? No.
Just like, I like this thingy. I like it. Hey sis, check your back channel. I wanted to let people know that there is hope, that we have an anti-Black defamation league. So we took something from the Jews and we appropriated it for ourselves. And so we have a statement coming out sometime this week in support of Kyrie, and then we have another statement that this petition could go in that I would be like, man, it would be perfect, and really set it off and really show people that we mean business. We were never punks, but we're not gonna let them punk us anymore. And so yeah, hit me up in your back channel. Pause. Land my plane. Okay, bye.
Brooke, you must be chiefing on some real nice stuff right there.
You from New York? Don't be using pause no
Every time.
Sister Sean, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Okay, peace, power, reparations. So I want to piggyback, I think, what Rella said. Here's what I want everybody to understand. Everything that we're seeing, this is another attack, okay, with Kyrie, right? We're fighting everybody. So what's going on here? Connect the dots. It's an overall attack on Black people, and all of it is anti-Blackness. That's why we need a protective status, all right? So it started off with Biden, and it started off with the anti-Asian, hate. Now we're, anti-Semites, and in between that was anti-CRT. That's because CRT, critical race theory, but I call it critical race truth. These people don't know, they don't want to know the truth. And it's really a very deep battle that we're dealing with. In terms of the organizations, I hope that you see this is how I see it. This is why we need Black think tanks. See, ADLU, Benai, Barin, they're nothing but think tanks. They're not in the House, they're not in the Senate, they're not in the executive positions, but they influence them. And Dr. Claude Anderson tried for many years, and I hope that he will resurrect that, to get our own political think tanks. It was called the Harvest Institute, the Friedman Institute. He did that years ago. But I think it's ready. We're ready mentally now. Now, let's get back to this Kyrie situation and the Jews. Here's what you got to think about. You want to jump on this man. It's overkill. It's just fucking overkill at this point. We already know that it is. But really deeply think the industry, all right? I don't know if you a Jew. Me personally, when I walk down the street, I don't know who the hell's a Jew or who ain't a damn Jew. Not unless you're wearing that little damn hat on your head. Okay? And that's just the for real. I just know white folks. You white folks to me. But here's what I do know. There's nothing wrong with producing and making billions and billions of dollars off of anti-Black, hateful music. So it's okay if a nigga is calling somebody a nigga. It's okay if a nigga is shooting a nigga. That's all profitable. They taking off that profit to feed their children. It's okay. It's not anti-Semitic. It's not nothing. It's okay. So it's okay to say whatever the fuck you want to say about me and my people, but can't nobody say nothing about you and your people. And nobody's even...
I said shrimp fried rice, not pork fried rice. Shrimp fried.
There you go. And the thing is that we're not even making any money off of it. and we're not even perpetuating it. We're taking stuff off the goddamn hieroglyphics in Egypt. We're taking history. We're giving them facts. We're giving them facts, and they're giving us fucking lashes. No more. Not when. If you are going to be so up in arms about Kyrie, then all of you, if you a Jew, I don't know who the fuck you are. So you can't, as far as I'm concerned, you a white man and a white woman. I just don't know the difference. So if that's the case, then you are going to deal with some fucking anti-blackness backlash. Because you're feeding our community with the poison. So it's okay to be filthy, to be degenerate, to be, downtrodden and idiotic.
And Secret Sister, let me say this real fast.
That's Sister Sean.
Sister Sean, I'm sorry, Sister Sean. I'm sorry. Oh God, Sister Sean.
Okay.
Oh Lord, Sister Sean. Oh.
No problem, honey.
Sister Sean. So the Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jewish community, Ashkenazi just means descendant of Europe. And I had to look that up just to make sure I was, make sure I was speaking facts. But there are different types of Sephardic Jews, and the biggest part is that the Black Jewish community never really comes out and stands 10 toes, knowing that they also deal with racism in the Jewish community until Black Americans actually start coming out, like Kyrie Irving talking about, hey, I'm researching my history. People start talking about genealogy and archaeological information. All of a sudden, when it comes to Hebrews, all of a sudden, now here comes these situations. And I think it needs to be called out. It's a form of it's a form of supremacy practices, but it's a way for them to say, oh, well, we're going to protect ourselves. So anytime you try to talk about, religion in the form of Hebrews, Israelites, and stuff like that, we're just going to throw out you're anti-Semitic, and that should shut it down. And no, that should not be happening. Like, they're literally using it as a weapon, almost as if like what Carolyn Bryant did to Emmett Till, in lying and saying, hey, oh, this black boy smiled at me, and now you got people, want to have a whole witch hunt and try to, take a black man or a black male down, and we need to stop that at the door.
Real quick. Yeah, real quick, because we got Professor. He hasn't had a chance to speak, so I want to go ahead and let Professor get his chance. So real quick. Are you there?
Sister Sean, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm waiting on Professor.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish your point up. Then I'm gonna go to Professor.
Okay, so I totally agree with Rella, and that's what's going down, right? But here's what I want the space to kind of also understand. Here we are as Black people, free from the FBA, whatever you call it. We are always the ones that have to be in the paint. She said something that really put a flag up. The Ethiopian Jews, these people don't want to speak up. And I looked at videos that sometimes they're so relegated to the point and so humiliated where they have a high rate of suicide. Okay, that's just horrible. But then I have to remove myself from it a little bit. The only reason why I'm in this conversation is because of Kyrie. Because I can't deal with what's going on over in Israel with the Ethiopians and everything else. We got to shut that cake down. We got to close the gate and deal with our lineage. So this is how we kind of get hooked up in some other shit. And then we don't get what we need. But right now, the reason why it's an open conversation, and I think it's a good one, is because of Kyrie. We're going to defend Kyrie. We're going to understand that he is being denied, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for anybody in this room, his right to religious freedom, which is part of our Constitution. And to me, I would not be apologizing to no motherfucking body. I would be getting my lawyers together. All right? And I would be suing the goddamn NBA, ADL, and all these other groups. These people are not fucking federal governments. They're think tanks. That was back to my original thing. We need our own think tank. If we had our Harvard Institute, Dr. Claude Anderson tried to get the institute, we can go up against the ADL. We can go up against the benign parade. We just don't have a think tank power. But we get there. Trust me. We're going to get there. But he should be filing lawsuits against the NBA and all those organizations for denial of my fundamental right to religious freedom. Who the hell are you? If we are the tribe of Judah, part of the 12 tribe and all that stuff, and a Hebrew, you're going to respect that. You're going to respect it just like you are asking and shoving down our throats that we got to respect LGBTQ. Think about this.
No.
This man is who this man say he is. And he's a man. And he's a Hebrew. And he's a black man. And he's a freedman. And he's from the tribe of Judah. Straight out the Bible. Part of the books that these Europeans took out the goddamn Bible. So you're going to try to castrate. You're going to try to financially castrate my brother. But yet, you want to shove a goddamn LGBTQ dick down our motherfucking throats.
All right, Sister Sean, let me go ahead. I'm going to have to go ahead and move on to the next speaker, sister.
Go ahead and move on. It might be too deep. But no, that is what is going on here. No, we supposed to accept LGBTQ, and you can't respect this man's religion when this is under the Constitution? No, he needs to sue the motherfucking pants out them bitches. And I'll land right there.
All right, we appreciate that, sister. Our last two speakers of the night going to be Professor and Original. Professor, go ahead, and then Original, and then we're going to close the space out for the night. But before we do that, let me go ahead and thank Deluxe for your contribution on Cash App. Thank you, Deluxe. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thank you, Newstoter, man. As usual, brother, it's very good space. DJ and Ray, man, good to see you brothers up in here. Sister Sean, man, very good. I love to hear you when you get fired up. And I just want to piggyback off of what you just said. That is, we do need to get our own think tank. I've been thinking about that for a long time, y'all. But I guess in order for us to get it, we got to practice economic, or should I say group economics. Because have you noticed that every group is able to have power in this country because they have economic base. They have a power base of economics within their community. The Hispanics, the Asians, the Jews, they all have businesses, and they practice that money. They pass that money around to each other. It seems like only in our community, we seem to be passing the money to all the other groups. And they're getting our money, and then we don't get it back into our community. And so these groups, I notice, also have these think tanks. They have built up think tanks. They got people that back them, and they're able to continue to build momentum over us. But hell, we've been here for years, and we got people coming into this country taking shit from us that belongs to us. So I'm just glad our people have said, you know what, enough is enough, and we got to build up. We got to get back what belongs to us, and we're going to fight back against the ADL and everybody that's trying to put us down and just trying to make us a mark. We're not going to take it. But we do need to build up our economic group power, and then that way we can get that think tank, and we're gonna take everybody out that's fucking with us. Bottom line. Sister Sean, thank you for saying that. And the other sister that was in here, I think it was Blood Pat, Sister Blood Pat. Thank you, Sister Willa. As always great to see you up in here because you bring that fire too. And Black Majority State, man, good to see you, bro.
All right, original. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay, yeah. What I want to say was this. I know someone mentioned the NAACP and Spin Guard. But what I want to mention as well is that you have to remember that Dr. King was a member of the NAACP. And see, the NAACP was trying to slow Dr. King down. That's why he started the SCLC. And there was, I know once when he had traveled to Chicago, I think it was, and these black folks now taking these white Jews' case and going to attack Dr. King, saying that they wouldn't work with him. And I mean, it was a horrible article. Like, I was trying to find it on my computer, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, you got our people, they're doing the bidding of our enemy that are trying to slow us down or stop us, you know. And so we can't to try to prevent us from moving forward, but we're going to move forward anyway. And then I want to just talk about the economic base. See, I remember, years ago, whereby you had like a black, gas station and convenience stores or whatever here in Atlanta. But then they was being robbed. And I was talking to a sister, and she was saying, yeah, she said she used to date a guy, well, a couple of guys that their family owned some of those convenience stores and thing, and how often they was being robbed and stuff. And we was talking about how we believe that, the government, whoever, whatever you want to call it, they, had these people, it's like they can always find a black person to turn on us. But a lot of these people, they was driven out of those businesses, and that's when they moved in these Asians and everything else into our community, opening up businesses. And so, but they wasn't being robbed to that extent. Now, there may have been some, people that went in and did whatever, but not to the extent that some of these black people were being robbed and some of them were being, murdered. And it was nothing but an attack on us. And I'll land with that.
All right. Rhea, I'll let you be the last speaker for the night because I was going to let Original be the last one, but go ahead and unmute your mic. And
you know you can't do that with me on this stage.
Oh, yeah, I can. Shit, we've been on here 3 hours. I go ahead. Hold on, Sir Major. Did you want to have something you wanted to say real quick before I let Ree go on?
I just wanted to thank you for making this dope space. That's all I wanted to say.
No, I appreciate that. And that's all you want to say now? I mean, go ahead and get it in because I'm gonna let Ree go ahead and.
I just said it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Go ahead, Ree.
Thanks. So I just wanted to just piggyback off of what Professor was saying, and I think the biggest thing that I've uncovered and found out is that they are tapping into the government set-asides by being set up as LLCs and businesses. So they're able to not only, circulate money that they're probably getting from, reparations for the ones that were still receiving reparations from Germany and the United States, but also coming in and, setting up as Americans. They also now can, do the business part of things, and there's $600 billion worth of set-asides, and people, don't know how to get set up to get that going. I'm just learning how to try to finagle and understand the ways and how to get that set up, how organizations work. And I think this is going to be a bigger discussion for us in the long run. And thank you, Professor, for pointing that out, because we need to have that discussion, and it's important. So I just wanted to land there.
All right. co-host Ray, DJ, you guys want to add something real quick, real short, real quick?
Really great discussion tonight, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Going DEFCON 3 on these niggas. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, we got a hurricane coming here and about to hit us here in Florida. So hopefully yeah, man, the damn thing, it was supposed to be a tropical storm. Now it went up to a category 1. So it's supposed to definitely hit us in Tally too. Like we supposed to get a pretty good amount of it. So hopefully we won't be without lights and everything else, y'all. So we'll definitely I'll keep y'all posted. Hopefully, like I said, we won't be losing electricity. They already closed school down and stuff like that as well. So hopefully it won't be nothing major, man. I know one time we a few years ago we got hit by a tropical storm. Before we came, everybody, because we in Florida, we like, man, tropical storm ain't gonna do nothing. Like it detonated a bomb around here. So hopefully, man, like I said, we won't get hit too hard by it. DJ, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, make sure y'all getting that Jumbotron. It's a lot of information. Make sure y'all sign relevant petition. Where is it at? Second from the left. Sign that petition, y'all.
Yeah.
And shout out to social. If you're not on social, it is the newest up and coming platform. I am on social. You will find me on social, developing and trying to build a real estate appraisal team. And I look forward to talking to you guys all about it on Saturday night.
Alrighty. Once again, y'all, thank you for coming to the space. Great space. We had a great space yesterday. We did the midterms and everything else on that. DJ, he followed up with a huge space afterwards that went like 7 hours. So between the space I did and the space he did, we had 11 hours worth of news coverage, political coverage, midterm coverage, and everything else, y'all. So once again, this space here was great too. We once again touched on the recap what happened yesterday, as well as giving us a little update on the actual petition and stuff going around as well too. So I think we touched on a number of points tonight, and thank everybody who came to the space. Thank all my speakers, all of my what's up, DJ? Because I see you got your hand up.
No, just hitting the button by mistake.
Oh, okay. What I see, we touched up on all of the points that we want to touch up on and whatnot. So thank you to the speakers, the co-hosts, the listeners, everybody who tweeted out the space and whatnot, everybody who just came and chilled. Thank you to everybody who contributed on Cash App as well too. We definitely appreciate you guys. DJ, you're not doing the space tonight, are you? No, I don't think DJ.
Only if the folks want me to.
Well, I guess because I know you had a long one last night. So anyways, guys, we'll try to catch you guys tomorrow. I definitely won't be holding the space tomorrow night. So I'll definitely try to stop into some of you guys' space if I get a chance as well too. So I probably won't talk to you guys till the weekend or next week. So you guys be easy, you take care, and we'll see you then.
Hey, matter of fact, I will have a space. Right. Let's keep the shit rolling.
Hey, make it a part 2 again, man. We're part 2 about to continue to.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay, well, I go ahead and let you fix it up. So look, like part 2 continues, y'all. I mean, hit it. Everything that's on here, DJ, just put part 2, man. Like everybody, they'll come through and whatnot. I'll come through for a second and whatnot, man. That space, like I say, last night was pretty informative. We was giving y'all me, Ray, Professor, Original. We was all up in the space giving everybody updates and stuff that was going on and whatnot in the actual political field and whatnot. So we had us a CNN type space going on last night, man. Everybody was giving their updates, their predictions, what's going to happen and whatnot. So we had a great space, man. And as always, like I say, I'm glad that everybody stopped in and spend their night in the Newstoter space. We try to keep information flowing and whatnot. If you're in the space and you're not following Newstoter, go ahead and follow Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news curation platform today in America. Make sure you guys visit newstoter.com. That's newstoter.com. We have all kind of different sources, Black news pumping through on the website or whatever. So you guys get on there. You may have to go ahead and disable your pop-up blocker, because sometimes when it says read more, sometimes people, depending on the device they're on, they can't get the entire article. So sometimes it's something on your device that's stopping you from actually going, but you can go ahead and disable your pop-up blocker and you'll be able to read the actual entire article. It'll take you to other Black-owned sites. It'll take you to other mass media sites and whatnot. So like I say, we curate the news. we're a news portal. We send it out there, whatnot. So, like I say, we definitely appreciate you guys' support. The party doesn't stop. It doesn't end. If you guys like to stay up a little bit, part 2 is going to be coming on. DJ WPI, you see the co-host. He's going to have a space going on. So you guys make sure you follow that. You go ahead and go there. I'm going to be in there in a second too myself. So go ahead and retweet that out when you guys get in there. We're going to talk more about Warnock, Walker, Runoff, Westmore, black men being under the scrutiny of the Democratic Party and the political U.S. machine as well, Stacey Abrams. So it doesn't stop, y'all. Make sure y'all come and y'all support the new black media, support the black media, support everybody that you can up in this space, follow each other and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and DJ, you got everything lined up?
Get in the Jumbotron. The space link is right there in the Jumbotron. Go ahead.
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and I'll tweet it out right after the space in. So we'll see y'all there. Peace to everybody.
Peace, peace.